your hands up, keep your chin down. Shut the door. Time to go with Randy Harris and Knockout Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, Knockout Radio with Randy Harris is about to start. So get ready for the best MMA talk, games, interviews, prizes, and surprises anywhere. For Knockout Radio, I'm the voice, Ray Flores. And now, here's Knockout Radio.
Hey-o. Hey, everybody.
What is going on, everybody? Coming to you live from the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility in Pinellas Park. This is Knockout Radio. Mike Straka on the line. What up, dude?
How you doing?
All right. Are you awake? Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Right,
Actually, I had a long night. I went to Manhattan last night, and I did a comedy show with Tammy Pescatelli, who's a famous comedian. Her husband is Luca Palanca, another famous comedian. Luca and I were in Tony and Tina's wedding together. He played Tony, I played Johnny, Tony's brother, in 1992. So Tammy Pescatelli, his wife, is a very famous comedian. She's very funny. And I went to the show last night. She taped a Netflix special. So I was in the audience for that. I was very excited because I'm going to be on TV. I've never been on TV before. And so what was interesting about it, though, is I've known Luca for 40 years. Like, we were in this show in 1992, Tony and Tina's Wedding, on Broadway. And he and I were brothers, like brothers, like in real life, too. Like, he was my brother. But what's more exciting about this story, Randy Harris and Leslie Lacey,
I'm on the edge of my seat. I can't wait. I'm on the edge of my seat.
Is that I met their son. He's 17 years old. I've never met the kid before. His name is also Luca. He's a fighter. He's a jiu-jitsu guy. I taught him a couple moves. He was very excited about it. He was very excited about meeting me, Randy, which was really cool. Like both Tammy and Luca text me today, like, our son can't stop talking about you. Thank you so much for spending time with my son. And I thought it was very cool and very, like, you know, it was nice, Randy. It was nice to be noticed.
To be wanted.
Yeah, isn't that nice when it comes around again?
Yeah, but I taught him a move that I just recently learned. It's an arm drag into a front guillotine.
Do you call that the Anne Boleyn?
The Anne Boleyn, exactly. Actually, I call it the Bloody Mary.
I think you'd have to be lit on fire for that.
It's an arm drag into a front guillotine. So it's really cool, Randy. You would know it. So if you do an arm, like in wrestling, we do arm drags all the time. I like to arm drag. When I arm drag, I fall back. So I pull the bicep and fall back, and then he falls on top of me. Then I swing, take the back, and throw a hook in. But with this move, there's a beef following me. I drag the arm. As I drag the arm up with my left hand, I reach around with my right and go into a guillotine, and he turns it. He can't help but to turn around, so he's like almost upside down, choking. It's such a great move. It's an arm drag into a guillotine, Randy Harris. So I want you to practice.
Yeah, let's get the video. You know, just like my 5-year-old granddaughter's cheerleading, they send videos of the cheers so that they could be ready for Saturday's game. So send us all the video. Leslie will go train on her partner. I'll go train on my partner. Matt will train in the street with some homeless dude, and we'll all get your move down pat.
Where is Matt? Let's talk about the elephant not in the room. Where's Matt?
All right, well, we'll get to the elephant, but I shouldn't say it this way. I was going to say, let's talk about the elephant in the room. And that's not implying that you're an elephant, Leslie, but you are the mysterious Leslie Lacey. We haven't heard or seen from you in a while.
Yeah, I know. I was on a cruise. I got COVID again, third time around. And the crazy thing is twice I've gotten it from a cruise. So there you go. Doesn't matter how much you wash your hands. Doesn't matter when you're on a boat with a bunch of people who don't do that. You're probably going to come away sick. But at least it wasn't a poop boat.
All right. Let me ask you this. Are you the Leslie Lacey that wears a mask?
Not now. Hell no. I mean, I did. Yes, I did when we were required to. I was really, you mean during COVID?
Yeah, I'm just curious if you knew how to wear the mask. Did you wear the mask properly?
I
Or
did.
God,
I
I
did
hate
'em-
those people that wear it like on their
Yeah,
chin, or
yeah.
they'll cover their mouth but not their nose. What a
I'm pretty anal retentive about like safety and about health. I'm pretty careful about that stuff. I think I have a lot of planets in Virgo, and so let's just say I like to sanitize a lot of things, but doesn't
washy
matter.
washy, washy washy.
I know, I know. Do you know that my cat washes its hands too? A good 20 seconds. It's like the Fauci move. I should put it on.
Video?
Yes, I should. It might go viral. He sits there and he washes his hands and cleans them, and then it's
Leslie, I
fascinating.
have to interject. I love cats.
Yeah,
The
Right,
Broadway
I'm-
show?
I'm a cat man. No, not the Broadway.
that was a good
No,
one.
I don't like Mr. Mistopheles. I don't like the Broadway show, to be honest with you.
It's so overrated. So overrated.
However, I love cats. I'll tell you why I love cats, Leslie, because
Okay.
they understand me. Like they know when I want to be left alone. They know when I want to give them love, and they're kind of the same
Yes.
as I am. They sometimes they want to go outside and not come home for a night. That's me. Sometimes they want to be cuddled or in purr. That's me. Sometimes they want to be left alone. That's me. I love cats. See, dogs, I don't get along with dogs because they always want attention. Like, oh, look at me, pet me, and like, enough. But a cat just understands people.
They're on another level. They're
You
all
I think cats are aliens. I think
You have
that
the wrong
they are-
cat. You've been around the wrong cat then. Because our Siamese will not leave me alone. Sits
That's
on me
because
27 hours a day, sleeps on me. So it's unbelievable.
oh.
And then here's the worst part about the cat. So
There's no worst part about a cat, by the way.
That's
I'm-
right. Set 'em
I'm,
straight.
I'm going to explain to you
The
And-
worst
and the,
that's an oxymoron. That's
and
an
the national audience what the worst part of at least my cat is. So, that sounds like me, not the cat. So,
Ed, good job, Ed. Good job, Ed. Thank
so
you
when
very
the
much.
cat sits on me and it's nonstop on my oversized chair, if my wife moves, if the dog does this, if whatever, the cat just doesn't jump off. The cat just doesn't walk off. The cat gets on my groin, rears back, and then dives off after shoving my testicles so far into my body every single time. Get
That's
off
called-
me, cat.
Randy, I had the same exact story. I don't call it a cat.
All right, so you're going to call it a girlfriend. I'm calling it a cat.
That's called the
Thank you.
trampoline move, Brandy. It's the groin trampoline move. Not to be, mistaken with the guillotine or the arm drag or the Anne Boleyn. But that's what
I use another euphemism for the word cat. You see, Ed's the only one who gets it.
Is it just me, or
No,
is that
it's-
story that Randy just told was something a story Matt would have told?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He just did that. And thank you so much for being here today. Thanks for coming in. Because
And-
honestly,
And we don't want to thank you for bringing up Matt.
for who?
Yeah, exactly. Ed brought up Matt. You brought up Matt. So now 2 of the 4 of us have brought up Matthew.
Where is Matt?
Uh,
What's he here for?
You
Three
really
of us
want to
did.
hear the story. All right. So it appears Matt has gotten a day job,
What?
and he is in indoctrination from 11 to 4 with a cigar company. The guy who doesn't smoke cigars is now endorsing cigars.
Whatever pays, man. Whatever
Hey.
pays.
All right. No, I think he should be made to smoke cigars now.
Matt looks like a cigar smoker, though. I'm going to be honest. He does. He looks like somebody who would smoke a cigar.
You look
No,
like
he
a-
just
you
he
look
just
like a-
chews on a cigar that's
Right.
not lit for 4 hours.
Because of the endorphins and the dolphins and the mosquitoes and everything else that it helps your body.
Is that for real? Is that what he says?
Yeah.
There's
You know-
endorphins in cigars.
Yeah.
That is actually what he says.
That is what he says. Because Matt is a biohacker, and he will be hacking back on the show next week.
So Leslie, he thinks that the cigar stimulates him, like almost like nicotine will stimulate someone and give them a little energy. That's what he says a cigar does for him. And he actually sucks on a cigar while he's working out. I've seen it.
Really?
I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, it helps with my endorphin. I'm like, the dude is weird. Like, I like Matt a lot. He's weird.
But
That's
hold on a second. Hold on a second.
thing to do, but not smoke it. I'm just saying. I'm throwing that out there. Okay, it's very interesting.
Well, and here's what I'm going to say.
You
If you believe whatever you're saying, then I don't have a problem with it. If he believes it helps him, whatever. If he believes it's going to help other people and they want to try it, whatever. You know, whether it's the apparatus on the back of his Jeep, the unlit cigar. Obviously, it's helping him a little because he hasn't jumped off the bridge yet.
Remember the breathing mechanism he used to put in his mouth, this breathing thing? And then you used to bust his chops, Randy, about this. And then Randy Couture put a post on Facebook about this breathing mechanism. And Matt was so justified. He goes, oh, yeah, you see, Randy Couture did it. And now I'm not so stupid. I'm like, you are still stupid, Matt. But
you know what it is? It's like the sugar pill in the health trial. You know what I mean? That's what it is. So if he believes it, great. It can work. You know, the placebo effect, it's been proven. So all for it.
All right,
I'm not going to do it, though.
Before let me look at the time. No, we need to hit a break. So we'll hit this break. Then when we come back, I have a couple MMA things to bring up to you guys. I want your opinion. Bottom of the hour, Dave Feldman will be on to talk about Newark, maybe address the situation because Frankie Edgar has come out and made some posts and said some things. We'll talk about Ice Wars. Nice conversation with Dave Feldman at the bottom of the hour. Let's hit this break. Coming to you live from the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility. This is Knockout Radio.
Hi, this is Boomer Esiason. You're listening to Talking Sports with Randy Harris. So stay right there.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way. At West Florida Roofing, they know how much of a financial burden a new roof can be. So not only do they offer extremely competitive prices, but they are offering up to 130 feet of gutters and downspouts absolutely free with a full roof replacement. Plus, financing is also available. I recently hired West Florida Roofing to replace my entire roof, and I couldn't be happier. From contract to cleanup, they did an amazing job. Call Joe today at 813-282-4000.
This is Randy Harris for Mick for Hair at Got Split End Salon in Pinellas Park, our official hair care and grooming provider who caters to everyone, women, men, kids, and senior citizens in an affordable, upscale environment staffed with the most talented professionals in the business. Visit Mick for Hair at Got Split Ends today at 4376 Park Boulevard in Pinellas Park, or call them at 727-290-9873.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat?
Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
You want to have a drink? Where do you go?
Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it?
That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Berg and the whole gang at Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
Hey, this is Warren Moon, former NFL quarterback, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
All right, we are back coming to you live, at least I am, from the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility. Mike, where are you coming to? Where are you at right now?
I'm in Frankie Edgar's hometown of Toms River, New Jersey, which, by the way, is also my hometown. So let's not say that Frankie Edgar is the champion of of Toms River, New Jersey, Mike Straka. And by the way, I'm a member of the MMA Hall of Fame here in New Jersey. Just like you are in Florida, Randy, I am also a member here in New Jersey. But what I want to say, I want to say this. You know who the first member of the Mixed Martial Arts Hall of Fame of New Jersey is?
Whitney Houston.
Ariel Helwani.
Helwani.
And I started laughing, and this is why. And you know, the people of the MMA Hall of Fame. When I got inducted, I went there. I did. I accepted my trophy, whatever it's called, my plaque. But I didn't make a speech. I didn't, because my speech would have been nasty. My speech would have been, "Oh, I actually live in New Jersey. I'm from New Jersey. I was a wrestler at Rutgers University. I'm a national Taekwondo champion for the USA Olympic Taekwondo team. But the first person in the New Jersey Hall of Fame for mixed martial arts in the media category is a guy from Canada
who lives in New York."
Yeah, fuck you. Oh. Duck.
Beep.
Canadian.
Yeah, it really made me angry, and that's why. And the people who gave it, they're mad at me. They're like, oh, they don't talk to me anymore. They're mad at me because my speech. You know what I said in my speech? Thank you, and I walked off. Even my own father was mad at me. Mikey, what was that? I'm like, nah, you have no idea why I'm upset about this. The first person to get the MMA award for media in New Jersey is a guy from Montreal.
It's just because of his platform. That's why he's in there.
No,
and you know what? He didn't even talk about it. To his credit, he didn't even talk about it. He didn't even talk about it on his show. Good for him.
It's because of national health care, nothing else.
What?
He's Canadian.
So,
wait,
that's the only thing I can think of, Mike.
Leslie, are you bringing Matt into the conversation right now?
He's missing Matt, so she had to. All right, so here's one of my questions. I saw it on social media, and people are asking if Merab, your champion with 4 title defenses in 1 year, is more of a GOAT than Khabib. Do you know how many title defenses Khabib had? Mike?
I think he had 9.
3.
That's it?
Yes.
3.
Yes. Google, check my facts. Undefeated in the UFC, undefeated before he got in the UFC. So I was going to go it a different way on which would you do, but now it's too late because I already said it out. So Khabib, undefeated, 12 UFC fights. Merab, not undefeated. Matter of fact, he lost his first 2 fights in the UFC and then has run a string of 14 straight and 4 title defenses in 1 year. Who's the GOAT of those 2? I don't even think it's close.
Is that a rhetorical question? Because I don't think it needs an answer. Of course Khabib is. Of course Khabib. Of course.
Of course what? A horse? This is a horse, of course. What?
Yeah, you said who? Merab or Khabib? Khabib, obviously. He's the GOAT.
You're being sarcastic.
No, I'm being dead serious. You're telling me you're going to pick Merab over Khabib?
Why are you and anybody else putting Khabib on this pedestal when you look at it's kind of like the big controversy in the NFL right now?
Hold on a second. You're the one who put him on a pedestal. You're the one who just gave us that comparison. You posited Khabib versus Merab. That's what you just did. And I'm picking Khabib, and you're telling me I'm putting it. No, you're the one who put him there. If you said Khabib or GSP or Daniel Cormier, I might have said something else. But you said Merab and Khabib.
That's true. It's true. I'm here. I'm witnessing it too, Randy.
No, I understand. I'm not saying that it's Khabib.
You did say it. You just put it together like that, and then you said, and then you acted like I was an idiot for saying Khabib.
No. First of all, that's not true. And second of all, I said
that is true. It's on video. I have it on video. I'll
replay it. And I said, this is on social media. Social media.
No, you did not say that.
Sure I did.
You did not say that. No, you didn't. You said, this is what I think. And then you said, Khabib or Merab. And I said, Khabib. And you said, why are you putting him on a pedestal? I didn't put him anywhere. You put these two people up there. Those were my choices.
We need to replay that then, because
whatever. You know what? I'm really upset with you right now.
First of all, I'm not putting Khabib up there. I don't consider Khabib the goat of anything.
I'm not putting him up there either.
It's worth it. It's worth it just to see Mike get upset with you.
I know. I know.
Leslie, he gave me two choices, right? No,
right.
Listen to you, Reddy. Reddy, you just said, I didn't put Khabib up there. I didn't say you did, and neither did I. You asked me my opinion about Merab and Khabib, and then you said to me, why are you putting Khabib on a pedestal? I didn't put him anywhere.
Okay.
You gave me two choices. I picked Khabib, and now suddenly I'm putting Khabib on a pedestal?
Mike, how long have Mike, how long have you been doing radio?
20 years.
How long have you been on TV?
25 years.
How long have you been speaking the English language?
56 years.
Okay. When I say you, I'm not directing it just to you in the small box in the upper left-hand corner of the YouTube channel.
Oh, no, he's talking about that.
You, the 72 million people, the 150,000 people, whoever's listening to this program, you. I saw this on social media. The people that put this on social media, claiming Khabib either is the GOAT or comparing Khabib to Merab. You's not just you. I love you to death, Mike, but there's more than just you that I'm talking to when I say you.
Okay, in fairness, I will say that the word you is singular. Okay, so if you want to say everyone, words are important here on the radio, or use guys if you're from Jersey.
You can't say guys. No. In today's world, you can't say you guys.
Oh, yes, you can now. Let me tell you.
I saw it on Survivor when Jeff Probst came out and said, hey, because he would always say, come on in, guys. So when the world went ape crap, he said, does anybody have a problem with it? Everybody ignored it and said, no, it's fine. And then when they came back from break, there was one Karen in the back who was a male Karen and said, oh, no, I'm not a guy. So I would never say, hey, you guys, like they did in Goonies.
But use guys would be okay because you're talking with a Jersey boy.
Hold on, you say that, Mike. Say use guys.
Listen, use guys are full of it because I'll tell you something. Randy O'Harris, you Irish. Randy O'Harris, you said Khabib was on a pedestal. I didn't say that. You said it. And by the way, I do put Khabib on a pedestal. I don't put Merab on a pedestal at all. I don't think he's even worthy of the conversation of a pedestal. I don't. Yeah, I don't.
So what?
And by the way, hold on. I'm not done.
Okay.
I don't think Alex Pereira is the GOAT either. I don't think he's worthy of a pedestal. I am not buying into this whole Pereira thing. I'm not. There's 3 people in the history of mixed martial arts. Okay, 5 people. Because I'm gonna throw in Randy Couture and Chuck Liddell. Randy Couture, Chuck Liddell, and then John Jones, Anderson Silva, and George St. Pierre. Everybody else, I don't care. Those are my 5. And I'm friends with everybody. I'm friends with Frankie. I'm friends with Rashad. I'm friends with everyone. Everybody thinks they're the top. No. The top is Randy Couture, Chuck Liddell, George St. Pierre, Anderson.
I think we lost Mike. Oh, there we go. Mike's back.
Go ahead,
froze up. It froze up.
No, you froze up. So you got through 3: Randy, Chuck, Anderson Silva, GSP, and John Jones.
Khabib and John Jones. Yes.
So 6. Okay.
6 and Khabib. Yeah, you got to give Khabib. You got to give him. I'm not putting him on a pedestal. You said the word pedestal. I didn't.
I understand. And when I say you, I didn't mean you personally, Mike in Toms River, New Jersey, the home of the Little League World Series champion, Toms River.
So I don't play baseball. I couldn't care less about the Little League World Series.
What? Oh, come on. That's where little boys cry. It's great.
I wrestled. All right, sweetheart. I was a wrestler. There was no team. There was nobody out there. I can't blame the shortstop for making an error. I was the guy who either won or lost. I didn't play these teams.
You were the you. You were the you, not the use guys.
The you, exactly. So, and Randy, when you say you, I take it personally. When you say you, the word you to me, that's pretty literal.
From now on, my comment will be, hey, all of you, excluding Mike, that's who I'm talking to.
You know what?
What about y'all?
I think a better option would be for Big Ed in the studio to just cut me off. Just cut me off because I am done. I'm done with you, Randy Harris. I am
And that's you, Randy. He's done with you. Not me or Ed. He's you.
I'm done with you. And Big Ed can stay. Even Matt, whatever his last name is. What's his last name?
McLaughlin.
McClellan, yeah. Even
no, McLaughlin.
Yeah, there's like he puts 2 T's in my name. I might as well put 3 L's in his name.
All right. Well, while you, Mike, calm down, we're going to hit a break. And when we come back, we're going to go just a little bit south of you into the Philadelphia area and welcome back to the program the president of BKFC, David Feldman. We'll talk about what happened in Newark. Mike, you'll be able to fill in talking to him since you were there. A lot of cool stuff. And I will continue saying you to everyone in the world except Mike. We'll be right back.
Hey, Tampa, this is Terrell Owens, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
8-Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8-Man Strong.
Check out fantasypets.com, where fantasy meets cutting-edge technology. We create breathtaking 3D printed fantasy creatures that captivate hearts and minds. From the T-Rex to the dragons and the shark to the crocodile, every fantasy pet is a testament to our dedication and precision and quality. You can request custom designs and bulk pricing as well. Go to fantasypets.com. That's fantasypets.com.
Experience the charming Country Depot gift shop located in the heart of downtown Brooksville, located at 36 North Broad Street. From sports memorabilia to antiques, from handbags to one-of-a-kind art and decor, the Country Depot has it all. Check them out at countrydepot.com, Country Depot on Facebook, or stop by the store at 36 North Broad Street in downtown Brooksville. Got bills and looking for work but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
Hi, this is Bill Romanowski, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
All right, we are all back, and I want to welcome all of you back. Mike, welcome back as well.
Thank you, Randy. I appreciate the inference and the call out, and I like to be solitary in my you-ism.
Okay, perfect. Did you see the story regarding Mark Coleman on an airplane?
Enlighten me.
Mark Coleman was escorted off an airplane on his flight to Las Vegas. And as the story that he tells is, he was sitting in the bulkhead. I'm not sure if it was a Southwest flight. I don't know, but it appeared to be by the way he was saying, you know, the bulkhead and yada, yada, yada. So a very large man sat in the middle seat, and Mark made some comments. He's like, really? I guess the middle seat on the other side of the bulkhead was open with two ladies on each side that were smaller in stature, physical stature. Mark made a comment. I guess the guy said something. And then the flight attendant came over and said, am I going to have a problem with you? And Mark said, no. And then she said something again, and he said, no. And then she went and got security, and they said, pick up your bag and follow me. And they kicked him off the plane. Okay. Great story.
Yeah. And we're supposed to respond to that? I mean, I don't know. I wasn't there. All right, Randy, we're on national radio. We're on you and I and Leslie are on national radio.
Don't call me a you. Don't call me a you.
He said you and I. He did
Use. I want to be a use. I'm not a you. I want to be a use.
You're going to have a hard time beating Mike and me with grammar, okay? You're going to have a hard time, all right?
I'm a ute. I'm a ute.
My point is, you and I and Leslie cannot comment, like seriously, about something that we weren't there to witness. So
No,
you're
I
asking
can-
me, what do
I
I
can-
think about this? I don't think anything about it.
I can comment about it. I'll comment about it.
But why? Did you talk to Mark Coleman?
Well, first I saw the
No,
post
did you
by
talk
Mark
to-
Coleman.
Call him. Did you follow up on his post? Or are you one of those journalists? Oh, I saw it on Twitter. It must be true. Did you call him directly? No, I'm being serious. I want to know.
No, I have not called Mark directly, but
Well,
I have.
then you have
I've been involved, but I've been
We should-
involved in something. I've been involved in the exact same thing on a
Okay,
Southwest
let's
flight.
talk about your situation. Let's not talk about Mark Coleman because that has nothing to do with what we're doing right now. No,
I
I'm
will-
being serious. As a journalist, I'm being dead serious.
I will call Mark after the next break.
Okay, call him, and I want his side of the story, and then we can talk about it.
I will call Mark during the next break, and we will get him on the show to talk about it.
I'll
Leslie,
second that.
I
It's
wrong?
difficult. It's
Am I
difficult
wrong?
to go ahead. Yeah, I'm sorry. There's audio issue here. It is difficult to try to assess something that you're not there, or you haven't had both sides of the story. I am going to throw this out with my personal experience with flight attendants over the last 10 years. Listen, they're bitches, man. And I'm talking about the guys and the girls. There has been an extreme change in flight attendants over the last, say, 10 to 15 years. They're rude. They're not nice. They're trying to intimidate you. They look at you. I tried to hand one so I fly a lot, and I tried to hand a thing of garbage. The woman looked at me like, what am I supposed to? I was like, where do I put this? Do I just hold on to it forever? I mean, and she's like, well, you can't get out of your seat. So she wanted me to hold this thing for the rest of the flight. And I kind of looked at her, and finally she took it. It was like a can or something. There's an issue with flight attendants going on in these United States. And I'm telling you, it happened post 9/11. They all got different training. They didn't just become servers in the skies. They became sort of part of security. And I kind of went to their heads. I wasn't there, but I'm just saying, can you tell me, Randy, if you've had a different experience over the last 10 or 15 years markedly with flight attendants and their attitudes?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. They'd like to show their power.
Yeah.
And the exact same thing happened when I was on a plane, but we'll talk more about that in a moment. Right now, let's welcome to the program via video this time, the president of BKFC, Dave Feldman. Dave, how are you? Dave, can you hear us?
It froze up. I think he froze up.
Well, he looks good, though.
No, he does look good, but it's frozen.
Oh, the belt.
Guy doesn't even blink.
Be a good promo shot for him.
Dave, are you there? Okay.
He's not there. You is there.
Oh my God.
I got a question, Mike. If you go a little west of where you are, wouldn't yous be yuns? Am I right?
Yes, you are. You
Okay.
are right.
Yuns, yes.
Yeah, he knows.
Pittsburgh area, it's Yuns.
Are you
Not
serious?
Yous guys, how Yuns doing?
Yeah. Yeah, Yuns in West Virginia also.
Mhm.
All right.
Pittsburgh,
Hold on.
Philly.
I think we got Dave now. Dave, are
Yeah.
you there?
I am.
Sorry about that. You froze. I didn't know how to get in touch with you. I've hit wrong buttons. First,
Oh, good.
we're using video. You know, everybody's been on me to get in the year 2025, so we're trying to do that. First, welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I heard a little bit about yous and yuns.
I made a comment and I said you, and Mike lost his mind. He goes, I didn't say that. I go, no, you means everybody. So from now on, it's you and Mike.
Mean everybody.
Let's talk about Newark. Let's talk about what went down, the atmosphere, the incredible fights. You know, from your view, the president of BKFC.
Yeah, I thought it was one of our top 2 or 3 events that we've ever done. I thought the crowd was really, really into it. You know, we did go up against that UFC pay-per-view that night, and we didn't sell what we wanted to, but we still did about 10,500 people in attendance, which was, you know, nobody else is doing that kind of attendance except for the UFC. So I'm pleased with it, but I'm not very, very happy with it. Our pay-per-view numbers actually came in better than we thought going up against another pay-per-view. So that's extremely encourageable. The fights, I mean, what can I say, man? The fights were just unbelievable. Very well matched fights. The New Jersey Athletic Commission was very tough on us in our first show as far as approving and turning down fights, and they turned down 21 fighters going into that card. And like I said before, that made us actually just have to have great fights. And when you have a great card, sometimes it doesn't become great fights. But this was a great card and great fights. Some of the best fights that I've ever seen. And, you know, a lot of great fights on the undercard. And then obviously the King and Queen of Violence belts, both were tremendous, tremendous fights. And both ended up extremely exciting and just showed what Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship is really, truly all about.
One of the things that I want to address, and it's not what you think I want to address, you and I, we've known each other a long time since day one. You know, I'm very vocal about, you know, antics and crap talking and this, that, the other. And I want to publicly say while you're on how proud I was of Christine after the fight, and her and Jessica, and there's photos of them, you know, talking in the hospital and all that kind of stuff. And that's what this is all about. So I just want to stress that to you, and I'm sure you're well aware.
Thank you. But you know what? I mean, you know, you have to sell a fight, right? And sometimes it's not as professional and you know, not as well taken as you want it to be. And sometimes, you know, those kind of things really do sell. And I do believe it did sell that fight. And I was very, very happy to see her go to the hospital and take pictures with her afterwards, and you know, show the utmost sportsmanship that you could possibly show. And that's really what does happen in our sport. I mean, it really truly does. You very seldomly have guys, you know, have the hatred or the animosity after the fight spill over. You normally have them have tremendous sportsmanship, and that's what happened with Christine and Jessica.
Now, the one thing about that, and, you know, yeah, I'm gullible. I watch professional wrestling, all that kind of stuff. I believe their dislike of each other was definitely there before the fight. You know, it's different when they make it up and then they make up after. There was a dislike between those two before the fight.
I think Christine didn't like Jessica, and I think that Jessica hated Christine. And I think that, you know, there was true animosity there. And I think just like people should always do, they settled it with their fists, right? They just settled it that way, and they didn't have to do anything else about it. They were paid to do it a certain way, and that's how they did it. And they put on one of the best female fights we've ever had in BKFC.
Go ahead, Mike.
It was brutal. I mean, I love Christine and I love Jessica, and I was literally, I'm not joking. I hate the word literally. I'm not going to say that. I was actually afraid for Jessica when she got hit. I heard, and so the entire arena heard her nose break.
Yeah.
And David, I've been to so many fights. You know, I've been to like probably 150 fights, professional UFC fights. I have never, ever heard what I heard that night. She hit Jessica, her nose snapped, and you can hear it Randy and Leslie, you can hear it up in the rafters. Her nose break. I was very, very concerned. I got scared. I thought she was gonna die. And then you saw her, and she stopped, and like it was almost like she was blinded. She grabbed her face, and she was like, "What just happened?" She was like,
Yeah.
"It was really." David, you were there. It was scary.
And I mean, it was scary for people that aren't used to BKFC. I mean, here's the thing is though, that's a very seldom injury for us. Just so you know, we have very, very, very little percentage amount of nose breaks.
Stop! Don't misunderstand. I know our sport's dangerous. I've been to many fights. I'm just saying that.
Oh no! Listen, I'm not saying we used to took lightly. Listen, that was. But see, that's the sound. Those type of sounds and the fist hitting the flesh. That's the sounds that really sell BKFC. Not breaking someone's nose. That's not what I'm talking about. But unfortunately, that happened. The crazy thing is, Jessica is in the recovery room, and she's texting me, "I'll be back in 6 months." I was like, wow, this is unbelievable, man. No, I'm not taking anything away from you. I'm not selling you on it. I'm just saying that is a seldom injury. I mean, you would think getting hit with the bare knuckle in the nose, you have a lot of nose breaks, but we really don't. That's actually one of our least amount of injuries that we have. That was just the way that she caught her. She caught her from the side. She didn't catch her square on. She caught her that way, and she made her nose go that way. She really, truly did. But amazing heart from Christine, because she was dropped, and who knew that she was going to come back like that, and that's what these women are made of.
Christine is definitely the baddest woman on the planet. There's no question about it.
Yeah, man.
She's amazing, and the fact that she dedicated the fight to her brother who's fighting cancer right now.
Yeah,
that helps me. Like, I honestly, I was tearing up during her post-fight interview. And by the way, this guy never gets credit. I know, David, I know you know who he is. Cyrus Fees is incredible at his job. Randy, you know Cyrus, right?
Yeah.
Leslie, you might not know him because you're not in the MMA where we are. But Cyrus Fees is David Feldman's like backstage interview guy. He's like I wouldn't say Joe Rogan of BKFC. He's kind of like the what's her name, the blonde chick on whatever.
Like the Erin Andrews of, is that what you're saying for fighting?
Cyrus Fees is great at his job, and I'm just so. I don't mean to be condescending, but I've known him for a long time, and I'm so proud of him. I'm so proud of him because he's doing such a great job. And David, thank you so much for putting somebody like that on the stage and letting him do what he does. And I hope you agree with me. I think he did a great job.
You know what, Mike? You know why I'm more proud of him? I'm more proud of him because we unfortunately had to have a talk with him about 6 months back and say, listen, Cyrus, you're phenomenal at what you do, but you're not paying attention to the fights enough. I really need you to pay attention and ask the right questions. And since that point, he's been an unbelievable interviewer and unbelievable backstage guy. He's been tremendous, and I really take my hat off to anybody that has been around for a long time in anything that they do, and allows themselves the opportunity to learn more. And he did, and he's killing it, and we're proud of him.
And sometimes, David, people just need good leadership like that. It shows too. It goes both ways, when you, especially with reporters, because there's different ways that you can come to an interview. You're thinking different things. And so sometimes you just need a little bit of mentorship. And it sounds like it just worked out phenomenally.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. You're absolutely right on that. And what I
cut out again.
Yeah.
Right at the witching hour.
Is it? Sure is. We're dropping all sorts of stuff. Mike dropped.
Mike dropped.
Screen dropped. All sorts of stuff.
A ball dropped.
Oh, there we go. We got that back.
I think he's coming back. Dave's coming back.
I don't know.
Technical problems in 2025.
All right, let's go hit a quick break. We'll try to get Dave Feldman back. This is Knockout Radio.
Did you not hear me? I'm sorry.
No, we didn't.
It sounded like it was going to be great, though, David. It was so really good.
Sports with Randy Harris.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
All right, we are back. We got Dave back. Technology. That's why I want to stay in the 50s and the 60s, because none of this stuff happened. So where were you? You were getting ready to.
I was just saying, I like when the post-fight interviewers ask the tough questions. A lot of the boxing guys, Larry Merchant did, Jim Gray did, and sometimes they went a little too far, but they asked the tough questions. And I think the tough questions obviously demand tough answers. And when you get the tough answers, I think you get to know the fighter a little bit better. You get to know really deep down who they are and what they're made of. And I think that allows the fan to really follow the journey of this guy and want to know more about his story. That's what I really think. So Cyrus is doing a great job. He's going to ask a little bit tougher questions moving forward, but I think he's one of the best in the business, and we're very happy and proud to have him here at BKFC.
Okay, so normally I don't ask these type of questions. I don't ask the hard stuff. I don't like controversy. But then I'm going to ask it because Frankie Edgar has been putting some posts up, and I know you've been putting some posts up. So tell us the story. What happened? What did happen?
I mean, what really truly happened is our chief medical officer, when he had a chance to, so he doesn't look at all the fights until the medicals come in. So the medicals come in, and then he looks at it, and then Frankie Edgar did pass his medicals. He did, but in the Association of Ringside Physicians, there's a standard of high-risk fighters, and Frankie Edgar had four or five of those. So our chief medical officer said, now with these lawsuits coming in from Heather Hardy and different people like that over CTE, we don't want to take a risk. So he chose not to take a risk. He said, do not do this fight. I do not recommend this fight. So God forbid if Frankie Edgar went in there and did get injured and I went against my chief medical officer, I would have lost my whole business. So I just took the road that I thought we should have took. We gave him a very generous percentage of his purse. So, we didn't leave him stuck. I thought we treated him well, and then he went out there and said some things that he wasn't happy about it. And, I get that he wasn't happy not having this fight come through, but to make the accusations he made that it was low ticket sales or we didn't have the money or anything like that had absolutely nothing to do with it, because the guy still left with a very, very generous check.
Well, and since Mike, who has disappeared temporarily, gave me a hard time when I made a comment about Mark Coleman and his playing situation. He wants me to get Mark on to talk about it. I'm going to say this. You and I have had talks on the phone for years now. And, fighters have come up and you have said, I can't, I don't, we shouldn't. So it's not the first time that I know for a fact that this has been involved with you in BKFC.
Yeah, and listen, man, Frankie, he's a legend. His accolades in MMA are unbelievable. I mean, some of the best ever. But at this time in our growth and our first show in New Jersey and everything that we're going towards, especially with everything that's going on in the media right now, we had to just, we had to put what we thought was putting our best foot forward, and we thought we did. And, I live on what's called do the right thing. Like I'd say, do the right thing. If you do the right thing, no matter how hard the road is, how many roller coasters, it ends up working out for you. If you do the wrong thing, it always ends up not working out for you. So we did the right thing, and we paid him a good amount of money. Like I said, I wasn't going to leave him stuck. I think I probably paid him, somewhat what he was making in the UFC for not fighting. So I'm happy about what we did, and if I had it all to do over again, I would have done the same thing, maybe probably had my doc look at it a little earlier and not so late, but that's probably the only change I would have done. I still would have made the same ultimate decision.
It's funny that you said roller coaster, because there was a situation in Orlando recently, and it's not the first time, where they allowed somebody to get on a roller coaster and a tragedy happened. And the fans and the media and everybody's like, well, why didn't somebody step in? Why didn't somebody do the right thing and protect? And so you can't win no matter what you do or whatever. We all do. You, everybody, with the exception of Mike, because he's not a you. We've already explained that. So it's hilarious to me that it wouldn't have mattered. Either way, they're going to look down on you for doing the wrong thing. Or
absolutely. You just hit the nail on the head, and I'd much rather them look down on me by taking the high road. So look down on me for that. Not saying, oh, he shouldn't have. You know what I mean? I didn't want it to be that. So we did what we thought was right, and I think we made the right decision. And again, like I said, I would make that decision again. And I like Frankie, and he's a legend, and I wish him the best in his life. But I was a little upset by it, but I get it. I get it too. And here we are, a couple weeks after that fight, and it was a game changer event for us. It really, truly was. It was. I don't think like Jeremy Stevens couldn't hit many people the way he hit Mike Perry and not knock someone out, and that was tremendous.
And I was going to bring that up. We've talked about the queen of violence. Let's talk about Mike Perry. We only have a couple minutes left. I think the young people say the flowers, he's getting his flowers, all this kind of stuff. Mike Perry continues to do everything that he says he's going to do.
He does. I mean, he's. I keep saying this, and I implored him, don't take the Jake Paul fight. Not because Jake Paul's tough, because you're not a boxer. You're a fighter. You can fight, and with Jeremy Stevens, he doesn't necessarily knock you out. He breaks you, right? That's what I say. Like, he breaks a fighter down. He takes their will from them, and he breaks them, and that's what he did with Jeremy Stevens. So Mike Perry does what Mike Perry does, and he breaks fighters. He continues to break fighters, and he broke Jeremy Stevens on that day. But you talk about a guy that took devastating shots, came up, 2 weight divisions, took on the challenge, and kept getting up and kept wanting to fight Jeremy Stevens. So I take my hat off to him, even the same or even more, because he went out there and did everything we asked him to do. But then again, so did Mike Perry. So it's a win-win. So we were very, very happy with the result of that.
So BKFC fans, combat sport fans, and Mike Perry and I are very good friends, but I'm still going to address this as well. There's that Dave Mundell guy out there and who wants that fight. Everybody wants that fight. Is that something in the future?
Yeah, I mean, I think it is. See, what people don't understand is Mike comes with a hefty price tag, and sometimes those stars need a star dance partner to actually make that fight work, and that's the only reason why I've been avoiding it. Not because I wanted to slight Dave Mundell or didn't think he was worthy of it. He is, but sometimes you just need the right dance partner, and we're gonna do our research, and we're going to find out if Dave Mundell's the right dance partner as far as driving numbers. And if he is, we'll put Dave Mundell in.
Speaking of dance partners, Ice Wars recently down there in the Fort Lauderdale area. Talk about how that went down. I saw the crowd. It seemed like everybody was absolutely into that.
It needs a lot of work. It was a great, great event. Does it have legs? I think it has legs. And when I say needs a lot of work, it was great. It just needs... we are safety first. We want to take safety protocols, and we're going to just change some things to make it safer. Not even for things you would think of with fighting, but for instance, if they get knocked out and their hands on the ice, is someone going to run their hand over with a pair of ice skates, right? Not necessarily the punches, because, hey, it was bare knuckle punching and no one really got knocked out from that. I mean, people got hurt and stopped, but they didn't really get knocked out. So we're going to change some safety protocols. We're going to change some aesthetic things, and we're going to give it a shot. I wanted to see if it had legs, and every single person in that arena loved it. It wasn't, a huge crowd. I think we had 2,800 there, but it was nice, and they loved it, and it has legs. So we're going to take time to tweak it, and then we'll bring it back, and I think we're going to bring it back a lot more polished, and we're going to change some things to make it even a little more exciting, because that's what we do. We want it to be more exciting, and I'd say it'll probably be back in the early part of 26.
What's coming up next? Future 2026 right around the corner. What can we look forward to?
I mean, we have the rest of the year coming. We're going to we have Hammond, Indiana this Saturday, first time in Indiana. We have our fight in Rome next Saturday, so I'm flying out actually Sunday night to Monaco. I have a convention there called Sportel with all the different TV and foreign TV companies and platforms, and then I'm going over to Rome from there, and then we go right back from there to Michigan. Then we have a week off, and then we do our first show in Palm Desert, California, and then we just canceled the Dubai show only because our partner in Dubai actually had a devastating car accident, and he's hanging on to his life right now. So we wish him the best, obviously, in his recovery, but that's why we canceled that one. And then we're going to go December 5th will be our final one at Hard Rock this year. December 10th on a Wednesday night, we're going to do our first show in Australia, in Townsville, Queensland, Australia, right where the Great Barrier Reef is. That's going to be a great show. And then we close out this year with December 20th at Mohegan Sun. Next year, we're opening up some more states. We're going to do a lot more events. We're launching our BKFC Fight Club series. And we're also going to be launching the $25 million World's Baddest Man tournament. I targeted March. It's probably going to end up being end of April, May for the beginning of that, but we're going to launch that.
What about Vegas? Where are we in Nevada?
We're going to go back to them in January, and knock on wood, we get approved in January, and we would love to do at least a show, if not 2 shows in Nevada next year.
Awesome. Dave, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, guys.
You know, we're going to do the giveaway. You were kind enough to grab a poster or 2, so we're going to do that later on today and next week.
Awesome.
Stay in touch. If we can help, hit us up.
Thank you. Take care, guys.
That is Dave Feldman. He is the man president of BKFC. He's been involved with this show since the very beginning.
Yeah.
All right,
I tell you what, the Ice Wars, that's fun stuff.
It's a little crazy.
It is crazy, but I kind of like crazy. I think he's dead on with just, kind of tweaking some of the safety protocols with that, fixing it a little bit. But that's something that I think that could take off.
Mike, I don't know if you had problems up there or if you just didn't want to hear what Dave was going to say. Do you want to wait till we're back on the radio? We are still streaming on YouTube.
I'm having connectivity issues. Sorry about that.
No worries. Dave addressed, the Frankie Edgar situation and, said that he felt that he did the right thing, that his doctors looked at it. He said that Frankie was still compensated, that he was compensated, he said ballpark of what he was making at the UFC, and that, he's was kind of upset or is upset that Frankie came out and said some of the things he said, but, it is what it is.
Now that Frankie has said what he said, I spoke to you privately.
You did?
And I said, I'm hearing some things that Frankie wasn't happy, and that there were things that I didn't report because I don't think I can't report that because I didn't hear David's side of the story. But now David addressed it. I didn't hear what he said because I lost connectivity. However, I think that I think both sides feel wrong. David feels wrong. Frank feels wrong. I don't know what happened. I can tell you this. I know Nick Lembo. Nick Lembo is the athletic doctor, or the guy who's in charge. He's the attorney for the New Jersey Athletic Commission. And Nick Lembo doesn't mess around with fighters' health. That is something that you could say New Jersey is very strict with their fighters' health. And Nick Lembo is on top of that. I did ask Nick Lembo about the Frankie situation, and he didn't want to talk about it. So I'm not sure what's going on.
What would you have liked him to have said? That he agreed with him being pulled, or?
No, I would have liked to hear
anything.
Listen. All right, I'm going to say it. So, okay. You and I have been in the fight business for a long time, Randy.
Yep.
Who's in charge of fighters' health? The Athletic Commission. Not UFC doctors, not BKFC doctors, not Bellator doctors. Bellator doctors are the ones who put Kimbo Slice and Dana 5000 in the ring together. And that turned out to be catastrophic. So you need the commission doctors. The commission doctors weren't involved in this situation with Frankie. That's all I'm saying. I don't want to hear about your BKFC doctors. I don't want to hear about, Bellator doctors. I want to hear the athletic commissions. There's a reason why.
Patients who experience loneliness face an 11% greater risk of death. It's believed the stress response of isolation.
Go ahead, keep going.
There's a reason why that Bellator fight with Kimbo Slice was done in Mississippi or wherever it was, where there wasn't an athletic commission. because no athletic commission in their right mind would give Kimbo Slice a license to fight. And he died 2 days after that fight.
All right, I'm gonna bring the
From the
station back.
professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Tampa Bay's Tan Talk. Entertaining and informative radio for the Sunshine State.
Hey, it's Misha Tate here, former UFC world champion. I'm here with Randy, the OG of the UFC, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
All right, so we've been we talked on YouTube through the break, talking about the whole situation up there in Newark with Frankie, with BKFC, and you know, I know what you just said, Mike, and obviously the radio people wouldn't have heard it, but they would have on the YouTube. I have a very good friend of mine who's the head doctor at the UFC, and I do know that he has gone and stopped fights. He has made the suggestions this fight shouldn't happen, and the fight has been canceled. So I do know from knowledge of the UFC that is possible. Why would they have doctors then?
Listen, I'm not a doctor. I'm not privy to whatever CT scans or whatever information they have. So I can only speak to the fact that in sports, in combat sports, the athletic commission is the end all be all.
Yes.
The doctor for the athletic commission is not the doctor for the UFC, not the doctor for the BKFC, not the doctor for Bellator. The commission doctor is the one who is the final word. So, for instance, Kimbo Slice should have never been sanctioned to fight. Who sanctioned him to fight? The Bellator doctor did, not the commission doctor, because there was no commission where they took the fight.
Right.
So when I hear, like, you know, a fighter gets pulled because of medical, well, I want to hear from the commission doctor. I don't want to hear from the organization doctor. I'm sorry. That's the way I feel, and I'm right. I know I'm right. Sorry.
So if the commission feels okay with it, and let's be honest, I was with the commission in Mississippi when they pulled some really shady stuff. I forget who the fighter was. I have the video. Guy missed weight. The lunatic, the guy who went to jail. He was in the UFC. I know you know who he is. I can't think of his name. It'll come to me. I think he's from Ocala. Missed weight. And the commission told the fighter, and I have video of it, that he will weigh back in tomorrow at noon on Saturday. This is the commission in Mississippi. So if the commission says yay, and the organization, whoever, doctor, owner, chief bottle washer, isn't comfortable with it, and what I mentioned to Dave Feldman was, and you may or may not be familiar with this situation or incident that happened in Orlando, somebody fell again out of a roller coaster who shouldn't have been allowed on the roller coaster, and somebody should have stepped in. So do you err, you know, on which way do you err? And you and I talked, and a lot of fans talked about Frankie Edgar before the fight, about why is he doing this? He's had some concussions. He's had this or that. So maybe they just erred on the safety of not getting sued.
No, I don't disagree with ever erring on the side of caution for a fighter. I will never disagree with that. Yeah, sure. Yeah, a fighter will say, "Oh, I can fight." Of course, and like David Feldman said at the post-fight press conference, he actually said his words were, "We protected the fighter from himself." And
because the fight, you know this as well as I do. The fighters camp, they do not protect the fighter.
It's not their job. It's like Oscar Wilde. You know who Oscar Wilde was? He said an artist's job is to not judge himself. It's the audience's job to judge the artist. And what he meant was, like, I can write a book and I could think it's terrible, but the audience might think it's the next James Joyce, it's the next Iliad. It's so you never know. You have to put it out there. And that's what fighters do. They put it out there. And if somebody says, "Hey, you can't fight," then they did their job. I'm not condemning a BKFC doctor for saying Frankie shouldn't fight. However, the job is the sanctioning state, the state who sanctions the fight. That's why there are athletic commissions.
Right.
And I know Nick Lembo, and I know the doctor here in New Jersey. She is extremely vigilant. I mean, more than any, and Vegas is, I mean, Nevada is the greatest state for fighting, but the doctors in New Jersey are vigilant. And they go, like, Thiago Alves had a brain tumor that he didn't even know about until he was going to fight in Newark. And Nick Lembo and the doctor said, no, you have a brain tumor. And he saved his life. So, you just never know. That's why it happened in New Jersey. And I want to hear from the New Jersey doctors. I don't want to hear from BKFC doctors. I just don't. Because there are certain things that, if a doctor's being paid by a promotion, or if doctors, we see studies all the time about whatever. Oh, you can say BBC 157 is good for you. Well, who paid for that study? The people
I get it. Yeah.
157. Like, come on.
No, I get it. I understand.
Commissions being paid by the promotion. They're being paid by the state. They have nothing to gain and nothing to lose by saving a fighter. And I didn't hear from a doctor from New Jersey. I heard from a BKFC doctor. That's all I'm saying.
And me being, and I happened to, when I was in Vegas that week that you were covering BKFC, I went to lunch with one of the Raiders, and we were talking about sometimes he starts, sometimes he doesn't. And I go, as a fat old guy, isn't it better just to take the money and not play? So as a fat old guy, I would say the same thing. Frankie, isn't it better that you take the money, whether it's half or 3/4, 30%, 40%, 60%, and not fight? But I'm not the athlete. The athlete I know wants to go out there, and I think the saying is go out on their shield. And that's kind of what I'm sure Frankie wanted to do. And I'm sure he's upset that it didn't happen. And what Dave Feldman said, and I agree with this as well with Dave, maybe they should have addressed this sooner than 2 days, 3 days, whatever it was before the fight.
Okay, I'm just going to talk about me, not Frankie, not David, not BKFC, not New Jersey State Athletic Commission.
Or Knockout Radio. Or Knockout Radio.
I am a reporter, and I'm a journalist, and I have integrity, and I will not say what I heard from one side.
Right.
Without talking to the other side. And I did not talk to a New Jersey State Athletic Commission doctor who told me that Frankie wasn't able to fight. So I can't comment on it. So I won't. Unless I talk to a doctor and that doctor or she says Frankie was not able to fight, then but I'm also not going to say what Frankie said, and I'm not going to say what David Feldman said. Because that's not, everybody's coming from a different place. And as a reporter and as a journalist, I cannot and I will not say something I don't know for a fact. That's as simple as that.
The difference of you, and I honestly believe myself as well, and most, is like another post that I saw on social media by all of you people, except for you, Mike, where it said Joe Rogan has been pulled from UFC 321 and replaced with another commentator. That bothers me because he wasn't pulled. He was never on. He doesn't leave the U.S. He doesn't do foreign shows anymore. But these websites, these media people, these non-professionals like you, Mike Straka, saying that he's been pulled from the broadcast when he was never on it. That bothers me as well.
Listen, I'm an old school journalist. I used to call, all right, I'll give you an example. When Nelson Mandela became president of South Africa, I called Desmond Tutu. I was working for CBS News. I called Desmond Tutu, Bishop Desmond Tutu. And I said to Bishop Tutu, I asked him, did you vote? And when I said, did you vote? there were people in the newsroom who like scoffed at me, where they were like, "That's a stupid question. How could you ask Desmond Tutu if? Of course he voted. Yeah, I know he voted, but I asked him the question, and Desmond Tutu responded, and he said, "Did I vote? Did I vote?" And he started crying. And he goes, "This is the greatest day of my life. I voted for the first time in South Africa as a black man." And this person who scoffed at me, like, he was like, "Mike, I can't even believe what just happened." I'm like, "Yeah, you got to ask the question. You got to be a reporter. You have to be a reporter. You cannot just say, in my mind, of course I knew he voted, but
I'm so glad you're saying this, Mike, because it is so important. And what I used to do red carpets, which is what I don't like to do, but in LA back in the 90s for radio, and a lot of times you also people don't know what you're trying to get from them. You're asking a question for a particular reason, just to see how they'll respond, and a lot of people, and the people that you're interviewing, don't understand that about our business. So you might ask them, and it'd be like, the person be like, "What do you mean? Why am I here?" Of course we know why I'm here, but everybody else doesn't necessarily know that. And sometimes you can evoke something new and evoke something fresh just because your question triggered something in their head. So I love the fact that you're bringing that up, because people don't understand there's a lot of things and a lot of things going on inside of a reporter's head, but there's a lot of different ways to get a response that may not be typical to the average person. And that's a great example of what you got from just a simple question. It was similar to, I bet someone else would have said, "Well, how do you feel?" That's kind of a common one, but did you vote? I thought that's brilliant, Mike. That's brilliant.
Thank you, Leslie, for saying that, because I know you're a real reporter. You're a real reporter, so you understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah.
And by the way, I hate how do you feel?
I do too. I hear it all the time. How do you feel about that? Yeah.
That is,
you know when that's the worst time to ask that question?
After a
that's
loss?
the easiest question a reporter can ask. How do you feel?
Yeah. Yeah. Instead of a yes or no, are you happy with this? How do you feel? But it's the standard go-to. There's nothing original about it, and it's fine. How do you feel is fine, but it's not really great.
It's definitely not fine, Mike. Mike, you, Leslie, you, the 72 million that are tuning in, after a fight that you win. I want some fighter after a win, when he's asked, "How do you feel?" I want him to say, "I feel like crap. I thought I lost."
It's happened. I've heard it.
I have too.
I've heard people. I mean, it's not a bad thing to ask somebody how it's not a bad question, but it's just it's so used all the time. It's usually the go-to is all I'm saying. So it's not really coming out of the box with anything different. Maybe if you lead up to it with something else, but.
And there's another thing, Leslie, that really bothers me when every time Oscars comes around, or Country Music Awards, or the Emmys or the Grammys, I hear it's music's biggest night. It's Hollywood's biggest night. No, it's not. No, it's not. Come up with something different.
Yeah.
Different.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come up with something the same. We got to hit a break. This is Knockout Radio, brought to you by 8 Man Strong and Staff Zone. We'll be right back.
This is Winnie the Pooh, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way. At West Florida Roofing, they know how much of a financial burden a new roof can be. So not only do they offer extremely competitive prices, but they are offering up to 130 feet of gutters and downspouts absolutely free with a full roof replacement. Plus, financing is also available. I recently hired West Florida Roofing to replace my entire roof, and I couldn't be happier. From contract to cleanup, they did an amazing job. Call Joe today at 813-282-4000.
This is Randy Harris for Mick for Hair at Got Split End Salon in Pinellas Park, our official hair care and grooming provider who caters to everyone, women, men, kids, and senior citizens in an affordable, upscale environment staffed with the most talented professionals in the business. Visit Mick for Hair at Got Split Ends today at 4376 Park Boulevard in Pinellas Park, or call them at 727-290-9873.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat?
Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
You want to have a drink? Where do you go?
Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it?
That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Berg and the whole gang at Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
Hi, this is Richard Karn from Home Improvement, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
Hi, we are back coming to you live from the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility here in Pinellas Park, or at least I am. Yous all, I don't know where yous all are coming from. And Mike, where are you coming from?
I'm actually at a Buffalo Wild Wings in Thompson, New Jersey. I was walking home. I was in New York City last night for my friend Tammy Pescatelli did a show, and she taped a Netflix special. And I took a bus into Manhattan because I didn't want to drive because I hate driving, and I hate Manhattan driving. And so I took a bus, and so I missed I got on a 7:30 a.m. bus. I haven't even been home yet. I'm wearing the same clothes I wore yesterday. I spent the night in some hotel with a person, I don't even remember her name.
This story's getting better and better.
That's a country song. Mike, Michael, you have a country song.
Walk of Shame's coming up.
True story. I'm on the walk of shame right now, Leslie. That's exactly what I'm doing.
Why would you take a bus and not the train?
Because I live near the bus, not the train. The train, I have to travel 40 minutes to get to the train.
I got you.
But the bus is 5 minutes from my house.
Take the bus to the train.
And the bus, by the way, the bus is fine. We have our own bus lane at the Lincoln Tunnel, so it's not a big deal. However,
it's so crazy. I'm just gonna say, it's so weird because the rest of the country doesn't do buses and trains, right? You always think of it, but New Yorkers, it's I'll never forget when I invited my friend to drive across the United States with me from New York. She was going to split the drive. I get down there, we're leaving. I get 6 hours in Florida to LA. I said, let's switch driving. She goes, oh, I can't drive a stick. Seriously. And then I had to drive the whole way. Typical. She's like, I barely even drive in New York. Everybody uses public transportation up there, but the rest of the country kind of doesn't. Maybe Chicago a little bit, San Fran, but not really.
But Boston does, Philly does, the whole Northeast, Washington
Philly does too, in Boston.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well,
I'm going to tell you a story, and I think only Big Ed would appreciate this story. When I was in high school, I was 17 years old, and I was working at a gas station. I was pumping gas in New Jersey called Manahawkin Shell by a guy named Bob Storer. Bob Storer, by the way, was a wide receiver for the Washington Redskins. He was the owner of this place where I worked. And one day there was an accident, a traffic accident, and they said, Mike, you need to go take the tow truck to the Garden State Parkway, mile marker 67.2, and pick up this car. I had never driven the tow truck, but there was nobody else there. They're like, Mike, you got to do. I get in the truck, and guess what the truck was? A stick shift, which I had never driven.
I don't even know you guys even know what they look like.
I figured it out, and I drove the stick. So you're saying people don't even. I drove a stick shift car, a truck, to an accident, and I had to winch a car out of the trees and out of the woods on a stick shift. 17 years old, but I just did it. Like, we just did things. We didn't question it. We didn't say, I don't know how to do that. We just did it. We figured it out.
Here's what happened. A month later, you should have seen that guy's clutch. He was definitely taking that truck to the mechanic shop. No doubt.
That is actually exactly what happened.
Yeah.
I burned
My friend, I got so frustrated by the time I was in Texas, because Texas is 13, 14 hours from Beaumont to El Paso. When you come through, it's the longest drive ever. And it's like 3 countries in one. And I was so frustrated. We're out in the middle of the desert. And I'm like, dude, you've got to drive. You've got to learn how to drive this stick. So I get her in there, and the clutch, she was tearing it up so bad. I was like, we were going, but it's like, out. I'll take it. I'll take it from here on out. In my Rabbit.
Are we still on with Randy? Because I don't see Randy. I don't see Big Ed.
I'm here.
I see Randy.
I'm here. I had a similar story. The first stick I ever had to drive, the stick was on the steering column.
Oh, old school. Yeah, old school like that. There was a nickname for that. It was like 3-in-1 or something.
Yeah, called cheap.
What was that? Like an old, like, it's American cars did that, right?
It was a van. It was a van.
What kind of van?
It was actually, I want to say it was a Ford van.
Oh.
I don't remember. It was an ugly yellow thing. Oh, God.
Is anybody watching any of the baseball playoffs by chance?
I haven't been able to watch them because I've been on this cruise forever, but Dodgers, baby. Dodgers.
How about the 8-6-2 double play the other night?
Oh,
You guys aware of that? What happened?
Yeah, I saw that.
So very, very interesting. Fly ball to center field. I won't do the play-by-play. It's probably illegal, and we get yelled at for it. But nobody knew the rules. I still can't fathom that people don't know rules or don't know situations. And I almost blame the third base coach who should have seen this. When the ball bounced out of the center fielder's glove, hits the wall, he then catches it. It's not an out.
Mm.
It's a fair ball. The ball's in play. So it's now a forced play. Everybody's looking around like they don't know what's going on. And one of the craziest, rarest double plays, the Dodgers still came back and won. And then you look at, we talk about, practice. We talking practice where you practice things over and over. Like, I need to practice how to run this stream so that when we have the issues that we've had, I know how to fix it. The Phillies, bases loaded, 2 outs, bottom of an inning, and the pitcher just freezes. And instead of throwing the first base to make the 3rd out to go into the next inning, he throws the ball over the catcher's head, into the stands, into the press box, and the Phillies get eliminated by Leslie's Dodgers.
Woo! That's what I'm talking about, baby. Woo! Listen, see this right here, guys? This would be the first pitch that I threw out at the Rays game, and I got it over the plate, the Boston Red Sox, and Evan Longoria came up to me and said, "You got it over the plate." And I said, "Of course I did." And
Do you have video? Do you have video proof?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I was a C-SPAN on. It was when I was at WFLA on Channel 8, and they let me throw out the first pitch, and I was so nervous, guys. I practiced. This is ridiculous, but I literally practiced for 2 weeks, throwing it, because I didn't want to be like those other anchors. Get up there or like 50 Cent, people throw it off. I wanted it.
People don't know that something as small as that is very nerve-wracking.
I had no idea that it would be difficult to throw this ball over the plate. I know.
Like you think, oh, I got this, and then the moment happens, you're like, oh, wait a second, it's 90 feet away, and it looks a lot smaller on television. And
Right.
now I'm doubting myself. And when you start doubting yourself, that's when you mess up.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my goodness, I didn't know it was this far away. I'm just throwing that first pitch out, and it's very nerve wracking.
Yeah.
I have never.
So
But I-
well, I'm going to ask you, Mike. I'm going to ask you, Michael. Utes over there. Do you go the easy way out and throw in front of the mound? Do you go the scary route and stand on the mound? Do you throw behind the mound so that you're not standing on the rubber? What
Mike
do you
stands
do?
on the mound. Oh, come on, right, Mike? I went on the. Dude, really? Do you? I was right where the pitcher says. There was no way I was going to pull like Gail Guayardo and move to the
Wait,
front of the mound.
Are we talking about last night, or are we talking about baseball?
We're talking. All right, we're talking about
Sorry,
baseball.
Randy.
Mike. Get your mind
Sorry,
out of
Randy.
No, hold on. Let's talk about last night. If you were to guess what her name was, what would it be?
Brittany.
That's like the most. Well, she's a millennial.
Yeah, she was a millennial.
If her
Or-
name was Brittany,
or-
she was a millennial.
Or her name was
There
Maud.
a pitcher's mound involved. There was a pitcher's mound involved.
Oh my God.
You asked, Randy. You asked. Don't ask stupid questions if you don't want stupid answers.
Randy, do you go to the front of the mound? Are you in the? Are you back? Are you in the center?
No, I'm behind the mound.
Yeah, we know you're behind the mound.
I'm not going to stand on the rubber because I'd slip and fall. So I'm going to stand on the bottom slope. I'm going to go further back than you people would throw from.
Okay.
Randy, I can tell you right now that I'm on top of the mound. For that moment, I am on top of the mound, and I will not leave until I pitch the perfect pitch right down the mound.
So
Randy's a no hitter.
So you're going to demand the ball back after it hits the backstop so you can throw it again.
Yeah, give me 10 minutes, I'll throw it again.
Yeah, and there's two ways to throw it: straight or lollipop.
I'm definitely straight.
Because anybody can throw the lollipop. You just throw it up as high and as far as you can.
Ed, as the station manager of the Tan Talk Radio Network, and I'm saying me, not you, me as the longest running show, I believe, on the Tan Talk Radio Network, how about you call the Rays next year and you get us the opportunity to throw out the first pitch, and we'll see who does it.
I can tell Yuns that we have expressed that before. But, with the old ownership, the old ownership really didn't have a sense of humor, but you can tell by their promotions that they had. So maybe with the new one, I don't know. I mean, there should be some sort of a media thing, because listen, we had to stick with them last year and we got nothing.
Right.
Because, we got nothing from them because they didn't have anything to give. They had limited amount of seats. So with the new ownership, maybe that'll change. I don't know. We'll see.
They used to have the media game. Leslie, did you ever play in the media game?
With the Rays?
Yeah.
I did not because I was probably always working, but they did when I threw out the first pitch. It was, first of all, it was a Red Sox game and it was sold out. So Mike, it was my first time and it was already packed. And there's more Red Sox fans there than Rays fans at the time. This was like maybe 2017 or something, but they did give me a Rays jersey and with my name and everything on it, which was really nice. But I never made it to. I did other media games, but I didn't do it with the Rays. No.
All right, let's trade. Do what, Mike?
Is this going to be a long story, Leslie?
No. As a matter of fact, it's break time. So let's hit the bottom of the hour break. Try to stay on track, and we'll talk a little MMA, UFC action this weekend in Vancouver. We'll talk about it when we return.
Hi, this is Baseball Hall of Famer Wade Boggs. You're listening to Knockout Radio.
8-Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8-Man Strong.
Check out fantasypets.com, where fantasy meets cutting-edge technology. We create breathtaking 3D printed fantasy creatures that captivate hearts and minds, from the T-Rex to the dragons and the shark to the crocodile. Every fantasy pet is a testament to our dedication and precision and quality. You can request custom designs and bulk pricing as well. Go to fantasypets.com. That's fantasypets.com.
Experience the charming Country Depot gift shop located in the heart of downtown Brooksville, located at 36 North Broad Street. From sports memorabilia to antiques, from handbags to one-of-a-kind art and decor, the Country Depot has it all. Check them out at countrydepot.com, Country Depot on Facebook, or stop by the store at 36 North Broad Street in downtown Brooksville. Got bills and looking for work but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
This is Curtis Razor Blades, UFC heavyweight. You're listening to Knockout Radio.
All right, I am back coming to you live from the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility in Pinellas Park. If you have any AC needs at all, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, give them a call at 727-954-3605. And what up over in Tampa? That's where you're located at today, correct there, Leslie? You're not on a cruise?
Yeah. I went on I went on a cruise to Mexico and Central America, the Belize area. It was amazing, I will say. And I actually went on the Margaritaville, the Islander, which I recommend, folks. If you're a cruiser, I do recommend that ship. I don't recommend the one in Fort Lauderdale, but I do recommend this one. It's a new ship. And it was a great time. We went caving in Belize and did, took the inner tubes down these underground caves. It was really cool. The water was great in Cozumel. It was horrible in Costa Maya, but that's because of the seaweed situation there. They should just take that one off of the ports. Costa Maya, it's usually never good because of the sargassum currents and stuff that go in. So there's so much seaweed and it smells so bad. Just want to throw that out there. But aside from that, I had a great time.
How was the Margaritaville at sea? Hamburger place the same? Is it still the Jimmy Buffett?
Yeah. I did the Islander, not the Paradise. And the hamburger, the cheeseburger and Paradise joint over there made fantastic burgers. Fantastic. And the food was really good. I mean, we had a great time. Everything was, I would go on this one again. I would go, and I almost didn't do Margaritaville just because of my experience in Fort Lauderdale and the old boat, the Paradise. Honestly, when you think about it, the boat is really 70% of the trip. The boat and the food, I suppose. Now the entertainment here and there, but you've got it. Don't you cruise a lot too? Don't you, Randy?
We have done, some. We're going to do more, now that my wife is retired. But yeah. I don't really care much about the cruise, the boat. I care about the food. I care about the entertainment.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, if the room is small, if the room's not small, it's six one, half a dozen another. Now, when I went on the Margaritaville at sea, when we did that promotion, and we're going to try to, do that again, we got upgraded and it was nice and all the stuff, but give me good entertainment, to keep me occupied, make sure the internet works to keep me occupied, food, good. Doesn't even have to be great, but good. The burgers were great. The pizza was good. The buffet
burgers were very good. Very good. Very fresh.
I can stay happy. We didn't really go off the ship, so I don't really care where the cruise went. I know some people do, and they go and, do all these things in Mexico or the Bahamas or whatever. Just give me a cruise that I can have a relaxing time. I can stay on the internet and I can eat.
Randy, the whole reason you're going on a cruise, by the way, is so you can detach, from your current situation. So that means the internet. I don't even get the internet package.
I detached 30 days ago on the 15th of last month. When I had my procedure, I'm all good now. At least I think I am. I'm not detaching from social media. I'm not, detaching from, the radio show. To me, detaching is staying involved, keeping all that stuff close. If I didn't have access to the stuff I have access to, it would drive me insane.
Yeah, even for maybe it's a good thing. Maybe you should try it for a week.
No,
it's supposed to be good for your brain. I would see if Matt was here, Matt would have some great stats. This is right at this moment, I really wish Matt was here, because he would be telling you how
be careful what you wish for.
Neurotransmitters breaking off from the social media and everything.
Be careful of what you wish for. He'll pop on out of nowhere and surprise us both. But it would drive me insane if I didn't have something to do. My AD, LMNOP, QRST, all those letters, LG, all that stuff. No. If I sat there and I was bored for 7 days, I literally would think about diving off and swimming back.
But you don't have to be bored. You don't have to, there's a gym. There's always the gym. There's always things to do on a cruise.
What?
The entertainment was okay. It was fun. I like trivia games and things like that. I'm kind of a dork. So
we did all that. We did that, but that's only once a day. And
I learned the Thriller dance. They taught me the Thriller dance, which I haven't done since I was 15. So that was fun.
Oh, I'm in the Guinness Book of World Records for that.
What do you mean? Oh, you were in a mosh pit. Not a mosh pit. Ha! Randy in a mosh pit. You were in where everybody gets together and they all do it at once, right?
Yeah, we all did it in LA.
Oh, how cool is that?
At LA Live or whatever. So yeah, so it's one of the few times I've been in the Guinness Book of World Records, and that's one of them.
What's the other one?
The longest slow pitch softball game ever.
Really?
You didn't know that?
What were you doing in that slow pitch game?
Playing softball for 4.5 days.
Oh, were you with the vets on this one? Was this a vet game too?
No, this was Pinellas County Sheriffs.
Okay, because I'm still bitter from getting traded off the vet team.
Yeah, well, no, I never got traded off. I would get traded. If I got traded, it's because people wanted me, not because they were trying to get rid of me.
Nobody gets traded in recreational leagues but me.
But you. Well, if you're going to do something, if you're going to be known for something.
Something else. It wouldn't be so bad, but also and I love my vets, but a lot of the other players are missing limbs. I was a fully able-bodied player, and I got traded.
And what's that tell you? They had no legs, and they'd still rather have them on the team.
Because I stunk. I can't field. I could hit. I can't field. Because here's why, Randy. When you play soccer, and I was a goalie in soccer, from the age of 7 into my 40s, my mind is so geared into catching something like a soccer ball. So what I would do is I couldn't adapt with the glove. I would turn my hands, I'd open up my arms as though it was and it hit me in the chest, stupid stuff. It was crazy. My mind was okay, I couldn't catch it like you're supposed to catch it. I did throw out the first pitch at the Rays game, Red Sox, and Evan Longoria came up to me and said, "You got it over the plate."
I did try to start bench clearing brawls in softball on a regular basis.
Well, that's cool.
I was the Lenny Dykstra. I was the Pete Rose. I was the
you bet on it?
Draymond Green. I was the instigator, and I caused more crap because when I would catch, I would stick my glove out over the plate, to give my pitcher a target. So then the batter would look down at me and roll his eyes, and then look at the umpire and make a comment. And then the umpire would say, if he hits your glove, that's catcher's interference. And then I would give a nasty response no crap, dumbass. Because I know the rules. Like I discussed about the LA Dodgers who didn't know the rules, or the Philadelphia Phillies pitcher who didn't know the circumstance. I knew it. I know what I'm doing. So what am I doing? Why am I sticking my glove over the plate as the pitcher gets ready to pitch?
Tell us, Randy. Tell us why you're doing that.
Let me explain it to you all. And that's because I'm trying to get in the head of the batter. So the batter is now looking down as he's looking.
Oh, wait, you're playing psychological operations?
I am.
Okay, keep going.
a little psychological warfare is what we'd like to call it. So as he's standing there, he's looking at the pitcher. He's waiting for the pitcher to, to start, the windup or whatever. And he keeps like looking down to see if my glove's still there. Because what is he trying to do? He now wants to hit my glove to prove a point. Right? So I got my glove out. And then as soon as the pitch gets ready to come, I pull my glove back and he pops out because he's trying to hit my glove.
Oh, wow. And
then says stuff to me as he runs to first base. And then I say stuff like, nice pop-up, Alice, or something like that. And next thing you know, and then we had a guy on our team who arguably the greatest golfer I've ever seen in my life.
Really?
Plays.
Not counting professional ones.
Yes. He plays for $10,000 a hole in Las Vegas.
Really?
Played on our softball team, and he was as big as.
He's like a golf hustler?
Do what?
He's like a golf hustler?
You could say that.
10,000. Okay.
Yeah, you could say that. And he would cause crap. Like he would steal second and then turn around and run back to first because it was a stealing leg. Or he would yell as the pitcher gets ready to pitch, hold up. And then the pitcher would stop. And then he would yell my name because I would be at first base running. He's like, hold up. The pitcher goes to stop. He goes, you can't go yet, Randy. We had more bench clearing brawls than any softball team on the planet.
This is ridiculous. This sounds ridiculous. These are ridiculous stories.
It
just
was,
a rebel rouser.
It was a lot of
softball,
fun.
You're a rebel rouser in softball.
We had
By the way, I have a question.
Hold on, I want to tell this one more story. So we had a player on our team. We were playing it. It's called Eddie C. Moore in Clearwater.
Okay.
And 3 police cars pull up to the parking lot and they start walking in. We happen to be playing at the time. So the inning ends as the police are walking up and my center fielder jumps the fence and takes off out the outfield.
Was he ever caught?
Eventually, but yeah, they were there for him.
Oh, that's funny. My goodness.
So
I have a question for you.
Sure.
I have a question for you. Okay. I'm looking something up here too, because I would like to know why guys play softball.
Because it's fun.
No, why not baseball?
Some guys play baseball as well.
I know, but I'm just like, it's really a women's sport.
It's really not.
Well, yeah, it really is.
So really Jose Canseco's a woman, huh? So you're calling Jose and Ozzy?
And we're okay to have you guys play our sport. That's fine. It's okay. I was just curious as why. I mean, men are welcome. They play it. They have really come in and, but it's a woman's sport. Because women couldn't play except for when the war happened. They really, I'm talking about World War II. When
they had a league of their own.
Yeah, they had a league of their own and everything. But really, it's been designated to women. And then guys realized how freaking fun it was when you had your own baseball team. And then you came in and you infiltrated our softball.
Equal rights, baby. Equal rights.
Yeah, but there's none on the other side.
And then when you play co-ed and you can find some women that are good, and then, where they can play the right positions and not, you trying to hide them in catchers and stuff like I caught because I wasn't that good, but I could catch and I could hit. We had a shortstop that was a female. We had a left fielder that had an arm that was unreal. Get on a good co-ed team. Now we talking. You know what else we doing? We hit the break. That's what we're doing. This is Knockout Radio. Time to hit the final break of hour number 2 as this cluster continues.
Hi, this is Matt Liner, and you're talking sports with Randy Harris.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat? Berg's
Sports Bar and Grill.
You want to have a drink? Where do you go?
Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it?
That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Berg and the whole gang at Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
Yo, what's up, man? It's your boy, Juju Smith-Schuster, man. Shout out to Knockout Radio. Turn up.
All right, we are back. 10 minutes or so left in hour number 2. I know we're keeping y'all awake. All of you, y'alls. Mike's phone.
Now, listen, I say y'all. You know why I say y'all? Like, it kind of bothers me when people make fun of y'all. They're like, y'all, like, it's, people think it's like a lot of Northeastern thinks that it's just some Southern word. It is a contraction of you and all that we learned when I was in Tennessee, along with your, and I don't know if I don't believe that use is one of them, but y'all is a real word. Y''ALL. It is the contraction for the plural of your. In fact, the entire country should be using y'all because it's you all.
How about Utes? Is that a word? Utes?
No, that's some sort of weird marsupial somewhere. I don't know, but it's not a word.
My cousin Vinny said it is.
Listen, we were talking about softball before the break. I just kind of wanted to throw this out here, okay?
Sure. Underhand or overhand?
Underhand.
Okay.
Softball, the little AI. You got to research AI, though, folks. Just keep that in mind because a lot of times it's not right. Originated on Thanksgiving Day, 1887 in Chicago, when George Hancock organized an indoor version of baseball in a gym. The game was actually initially called indoor baseball, and it was played with a chalked out diamond, a broom handle bat, and a boxing glove. See, I can throw some fighting stuff in there, okay, on this show. I can contribute, okay, Randy. A boxing glove was the ball. Okay, that was the original, the first time ever. And then the sport just spread and evolved over the decades, gaining different names like kitten ball, diamond ball, before originally being named softball in 1926. And originally it was dudes playing it. However, the very first softball World Series was 1965, and that was with women. And then in 66, it was with men.
So let me get this. The boxing glove was the ball?
Yeah, the boxing glove was the ball. The very first time, the origins of this. Because
So you threw the boxing glove and that's what you hit with your stick?
Yeah, it was inside. It was indoor with a broomstick.
So you certainly didn't need outfielders.
Well, I mean, you put some people, they just chalk. This was the first, somebody came up with this idea and then it grew, there's a lot more to the story eventually and how they developed the ball and so forth. But I'm just saying, in 1887, somebody was probably on a ship, really bored with ADD, Randy.
Yep, that would have been me.
On a cruise. Well, 1887, I don't know if there were, that's pre-Titanic, right? So maybe not. But yeah, kind of cool. Boxing glove.
I spoke about the Mark Coleman situation. I have texted him to see if he would come on and talk about him being asked to leave. I asked Matt this last week, and I want to ask you this. What are some of the rude things you have seen on an airplane, like someone clipping their toenails, someone taking their shoes and socks off? I happened to sit next to someone coming back from Seattle when the Bucks went up and beat the Seahawks, who was painting her face on as the plane was getting ready to land.
I thought that on makeup?
Yes.
What's wrong with that?
Really, on a plane?
Putting on makeup?
Yeah.
I don't understand. What's the big deal?
The big deal is this isn't a bathroom. This is an airplane. And why is that
Okay,
not as bad as clipping your toenails then?
because there's a hygiene thing. I don't even understand that you could even combine those in the same sentence, and that is the most ridiculous thing to even suggest that those two could somehow be related. Clipping your toenails is disgusting because you've got open feet, massive amounts of bacteria all over the place,
I
and
agree.
it's a hygiene issue and a smell issue.
I agree.
Women all day long open up compacts and put a little bit of blush or something on their face. It's just a mirror, and you're throwing something. It's like putting on chapstick. It's the same thing. If you're going to put chapstick on your face, why not a makeup? How in the world is that like clipping toenails or taking off your shoes?
I thought
isn't
I
a-
would rather you take your shoes off than painting your face. It took this
Why?
lady 15 minutes.
Is she bothering you? Are you smelling anything? Is she affecting you? You've just got issues.
Well, yeah, it was affecting me. I don't. It's
That's
you
some
know.
weird. Yeah, you got something weird going on there.
I'm like, really?
Yeah, you do. That's very, very odd.
So
Yeah.
what if a person next to you was clipping his nose hairs?
Okay, how is clipping nose hairs like putting chapstick on your face? Like,
Well,
did
it
you
wasn't
ever-
chapstick.
But
It wasn't chapstick.
It's lipstick. What's the difference? It's the idea that you're just taking you putting something on your face. There's no hygiene involved with this clipping nose hair. That's human hair. How is this even in the same ballpark when women are going around? And by the way, you know why that woman's putting on makeup? You know why?
To cover her face.
No, dear, it's not that. It's to appease the patriarchy. That's why she's putting on makeup. And women go through all this stuff and they do it so they can look good for their guys. Okay? Most of them. Some of us, the girls. But
I
usually
believe there's a Rascal Flatts song about putting on makeup, and
What?
Gary is singing from Rascal Flatts, says, "But you don't even need it. So just go."
Oh, that
clean
Randy, that's really nice of you to say, but let me tell you something. If all the makeup stopped and no one put on any makeup, guys would bitch. All right, they'd be like, put some on. It's all geared towards making men happy. We paint our faces. It's the weirdest thing. That's why I love Alicia Keys. She doesn't do it anymore. And Pam Anderson, two of the most beautiful women. They don't wear any makeup. And they're doing it in defiance because they're like, why are we having to hide our faces?
Well, we can't do it in defiance. We can't do it in defiance because Matt doesn't shower and wash his hair in defiance.
We could put some makeup on Matt. That would be fun. I could give him a makeup session.
If he thinks that it's part of biohacking, he may do it.
By the way, guys wear makeup too in television, but just not as much. They usually just wear base and just a light something, but they have on base. They're because it evens out their skin tone with the lights.
But they don't do it in the middle seat on the plane.
Yeah, I bet if they were going to show up to an interview, they're going to be on camera, they would be. What is unhygienical about putting on makeup on your face? Explain to me.
It's, in my opinion,
Exactly. You don't even know. You can't even think of it.
I
This
just-
is the most ridiculous thing that you could compare. That somebody putting on some chapstick or makeup or whatever to somebody
I
taking
think
nose
I
hairs
think
out.
I would be okay with it if it was just putting on chapstick that took 4 seconds,
But why does it
not
have to be
10 minutes of painting the eyebrows and tweezing this and buffering out the
Tweezing?
side of your cheek. And
You don't have to tweeze to put on makeup.
I'm saying this is what this lady did when I flew back from Seattle to
I guess some
Tampa.
tweezing's odd, but everything else is okay.
It's
That's not tweezing isn't makeup. That's hygiene again. Makeup isn't hygiene. It's patriarchy.
Explain to me how much time we have. We got 2 minutes.
Let's talk Baker Mayfield.
How Baker Mayfield.
Oh, we're both about Baker right now. I love it. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, I've been on the Baker bandwagon since the day he got drafted by the Cleveland Browns.
Hell yeah, baby. Hell yeah. Me too.
Baker is my kind of guy, my kind of athlete. my kind of attitude.
Yeah.
That
He's a bruiser.
it's like me with my glove trying to get in your head. Baker's trying to get in your head.
Yeah.
He gets drilled by a guy instead of, trying to complain for a foul. He pops up, makes fun of him, and runs back to the huddle.
Yep.
How is Baker Mayfield not the leader out of the clubhouse for the MVP? Now, first and foremost, and I'll lay this all out, then we'll hit the top of the hour break. We're 6-7 weeks in. So it's really silly to say who's leading, okay? But since the media is out there, and since the media has said the voters have put Baker at number 3 right now, but behind Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, why do you even do it? Things are going to change. If Baker or Josh or Patrick Mahomes has 4, 5, 6 bad games in a row, they're no longer the leader out of the clubhouse, correct? Correct.
Well, that's right. Yeah, if they have a bunch of bad games in a row, obviously not. But it's fun to do it. I mean, we're a third the way in, Randy. That's not out of the gate. You 3 games, but when you start getting to 6, 7 and stuff, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it then.
We're going to hit the top of the hour break. Pull up the stats.
Okay.
On the 3 of them, the 2 of them. Tell me which ones you don't do. I'll pull it up. We'll discuss stats. And because some people say the stats are better with Mahomes, some say Josh Allen has better stats. I say Baker Mayfield is the MVP at this point. Only a third in, and who cares? This is Knockout Radio.
Hi, this is Bob Eubanks, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
8-Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you are bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8-Man Strong.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
WTAN Clearwater,
FM 106.1,
WDCF Dade City,
FM 102.3.
Listen.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Cammie McCormick. The Supreme Court heard arguments today on the use of the Voting Rights Act. Legal analyst Jessica Levinson.
They're challenging a really big issue, which is whether and to what extent can you consider race when you draw district lines. And if you do consider race, and if you consider race maybe quote unquote too much, does that fly in the face of the 14th Amendment, the Equal Protection Clause, or the 15th Amendment, which protects the right to vote against vote dilution, essentially?
Venezuela's president ordered military exercises today after U.S. forces blew up another alleged drug boat in the region. Ed O'Keefe reports the administration hasn't provided much more information despite calls.
Rights groups, Democrats and Republicans in Congress who've sat through a handful of briefings and not gotten the information they've sought. Earlier this month, the president sent a letter to Congress saying that he determined the U.S. is in a non-international armed conflict with drug cartels that it's designated as terrorist organizations. This latest one killed at least 6 people. What we don't know is who was on that vessel, what were they carrying with them, where did it originate, where was it headed, and why did the United States feel compelled to do this?
There's another vote expected in the Senate on the government shutdown. It isn't likely to pass. Pat Vitale reports from Detroit on how some businesses are trying to help out federal workers.
The Anchor Bar is offering free meals to federal employees during the government shutdown. Owner Nabi Ayad tells me it's about taking care of the people caught in the middle of all the politics.
We just felt it was prudent to help them out during these challenging times.
Ayad says the free meals will go through the duration of the government shutdown, which is now in its 15th day.
The UN's weather agency says heat trapping reporting carbon dioxide levels in the atmosphere jumped by the highest amount on record last year.
Every single molecule which is emitted in the atmosphere will have a global impact.
Oksana Tarasova of the World Meteorological Organization says the CO2 growth rates have tripled since the 60s and are turbocharging the climate. New research indicates it's never too late to quit smoking, as Vicky Barker reports.
British researchers writing in the Lancet Medical Journal say people who stop smoking in middle age can reduce their cognitive decline so dramatically that within 10 years, their chances of developing dementia are the same as someone who has never smoked. The study of 9,000 people in England, the U.S., and 10 other European countries found kicking the habit cuts in half the rate of decline in verbal fluency and slows memory loss by 20%.
On Wall Street at this hour, stocks are slightly higher. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive. See why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive to stay protected on the road. See for yourself at progressive.com.
Vanity Fair calls BritBox a delicious stream.
All right, we are back. 2 hours down, 1 hour to go. Were you able to pull up any of the Josh Allen?
Hi, this is Bob Eubanks, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
Got bills and looking for work but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
All right, maybe we are back now. So hour number 3 kicking off. Were you able to pull up any of the stats there, Leslie?
Oh, heck yeah, man. You know, there's certain sites that do put Baker at the top. You know, they're moving. They're starting to understand that this is real magic going on here with Baker Mayfield. Okay, so we got.
Hold on. There's a difference between sites and the voters.
Yes, I know. I'm just saying that there's a lot of people that are on board with Baker Mayfield. You know, and that's all I'm saying is there's a lot of different sites that think that he should be at the top of this, including us, including the Knockout Radio site. We put Baker at the top. And like you said, we're about a third in here. Baker Mayfield right now, 1,539 yards. Okay. Patrick Mahomes, 1,514. Close, but no cigar. Josh Allen, a mere 12-17. Okay. Passing touchdowns, guess what? The big B, 12. The little P, 11. Close, but no cigar. Josh Allen, 9. Interceptions, guess who's only thrown 1?
I saw that one, so I'm going to say that's
right.
Baker.
The biscuit maker. Yeah.
The biscuit maker.
Patrick Mahomes, 2. Josh Allen, 2. Quarterback rating, 71. 76 for Mahomes and 70 for Josh Allen. So
what do you think is more important really in any sports, but right now we're talking about the MVP race, so we'll talk about stats. Is the stat more important? Is the wins and losses more important? Or is it how valuable that player is for that team?
Those are good questions. I just think that I think that's a good question because first of all, I think you have to put wins into it. I don't think you can take a losing team with somebody who's got incredible stats and put them in the MVP position because it is a team sport and that would make it more of an individual situation. And can't be just individual because it's such a team sport. So you've got to have the wins up there. You've got to be able to back it up with the wins.
Well, here's where I'm going to disagree. And then you can go back to your back in the day, the Philadelphia Phillies, worst team in baseball, and Steve Carlton had like 32 victories of maybe the 45 victories that they had, if they had that many.
Right.
He was a legitimate candidate for most valuable player of the team and of the league, because take away those 30-some victories that he had, they might have had only 4 wins. But all right, that's just my counterpoint. Next.
And how many total wins? Where were they in the whole?
Not many. I'll look it up while you.
That's what I'm saying.
Out some more stuff.
So because it's not many now, had he had that and they had many more wins, it would be more viable. I think that's something like that's like an honorable, obviously MVP for his own team. But when you're talking about the league, it's also got to be how instrumental that particular player is to the team. If you take out Baker right now, you have a bad situation. Bad situation.
Well, but I would say, as much as I'm saying Baker right now, Baker Mayfield should be the leader, even though we're only a third way in. Take Patrick Mahomes off the Kansas City Chiefs, and not only are they a mediocre football team, but they don't win the Super Bowls that they've already won. Now, right. I know this is going to bother you and everybody else. Take Tom Brady off that 2020 team and give me Baker Mayfield. Give me a mediocre quarterback. I think they still win the Super Bowl.
No. You're crazy.
That was a good team.
You're crazy.
Didn't need
Tom Brady wasn't. I give you a mediocre quarterback.
Yeah.
You're saying Tom Brady was less than mediocre?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Then you've already got a mediocre quarterback.
I'm saying give me a mediocre quarterback in that 2020 team of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I think they still do. They still could have won the Super Bowl. They didn't need, the greatest ring-wearing quarterback of all time.
Out of your mind, Randy. That's the most ridiculous thing I think I've ever heard you say, outside of the lipstick and the toenail thing. Okay, I do. I think that's history right there. That it's just as bad to put on your makeup on a plane than do your toenails. It's crazy. But let's go back to football. No way, because here's what Tom Brady did. He came in and he changed the mindset. The mindset was that of a losing mediocre team, at best a mediocre team. Okay, we were 7-9 when he came in?
Yeah, they were mediocre.
They weren't even 500. 500. You got to be, if you're not, you've got to be at least 500. You're 2 games under 500.
Let's get back to the Baker Mayfield.
Okay, so point being, well, let me just finish my thought here. Tom Brady changed his mindset. That's what it was. And those players talk about it. He came in, we're going to go to the Super Bowl, but they didn't really believe it. I can't remember which one it says. We were like, yeah, but we didn't believe it. But he kept with it. It's basically about the same team. We threw Gronk in, AB, but we didn't use them till later on in the season anyway. It's a mental game. That's what Brady did. So there's no way somebody could have came in there and won that Super Bowl. I'm just saying that. Now let's move on to Baker.
Is Paul Anka your favorite singer?
No.
I think it is. And
it's
I
Olivia Newton-John.
I think the Paul Anka song, every time you talk about Tom Brady, I think of Paul Anka and his famous song, Having My Baby. Because that's all I can think of. Every time you talk about Tom Brady, I think you want to have his baby.
You know what I will say? The last time he popped up on Fox Sports, I felt my uterus kick. But it is what it is, okay? It is what it is. But I've liked him since 2001, since when he looked goofy. I've always been a big Tom Brady fan, but he's incredible. He's incredible in the way he leads his life and everything. All right, so moving on to Baker Mayfield and Mahomes. If you take Patrick Mahomes out, you're right. You're not going to have even the previous Super Bowls. I agree with that. But here's the thing: if we take Baker Mayfield out, we have depth everywhere but quarterback. Okay,
no, for sure.
And that's the problem. Because Baker isn't just a quarterback, he's also a running back when you need him. And he'll take hits. He is, and not to say that Mahomes won't either, but you saw the stats. The only thing that's higher right now is just by a little bit is the rating, the overall rating. But in yards, I didn't look up rushing. I'll look up that right now. But it's more about change, impact. And I think Baker Mayfield is bringing excitement. He's lit a fire with the Bucs, and look how, gosh, this last game against San Francisco, we typically do not win against West Coast teams. If you look at our whole history, we do not do well against Seattle. We do not do well against San Francisco, San Diego, like the entire history, and there's something to be said with that.
Is that, and I'm just asking because I don't know, is that home and away? Because obviously I know they don't do well on the West Coast.
I think generally
is it the same when the West Coast.
I think generally it's a tougher. Yeah, we don't.
Really?
I mean, we usually don't play them as much, obviously, but yeah, we don't do well with the time change and so forth. But
I understand. I'm saying when Tampa goes to the West Coast, I get that. But I'm saying, is it the same that they struggle with the West Coast teams when they play here in Tampa?
Well, let me just do a little research. But I do believe that we do not do as well. I think traditionally, historically, West Coast has an advantage over us. So I thought we were going to lose. I really did. And San Francisco's been playing really good, but San Francisco was really beat up. But we were really beat up. But our depth is the best in the NFL. We're playing with second stringers, and they're kicking ass and taking names and doing backflips when they score touchdowns. Okay.
Well, so far you're wrong. They're not using backups. They're using third, fourth, and fifth stringers.
Well, those are backups. They're just not.
Backups would be people on the roster. They're not using people that are on the practice squad.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you're right. The depth of the backups are going further than second string. Okay. It's amazing. It's amazing. So who do you think for that? Recruit the draft picks. The people in charge of drafting.
Yeah, Jason Light, Tom Brady.
Right.
Jason Light.
Well, yeah, because Tom Brady's not. I'm not even gonna give you what you want with that. Okay, it didn't even make any sense.
And just so you know, the Buccaneers' record against West Coast teams depends on which conference. Obviously, against the NFC West, they're 44-69. Against the AFC West, they're 20-34. I do want to try to, while you're talking about some other stuff, I'll try to find out home and away.
Those are pretty bad. See what I mean? They're bad. Those are not good stats.
No, it's awful.
It's terrible. That's what I'm saying. So obviously I knew that we could win, but look, the games were close. They weren't blowouts. Seattle, and even San Francisco, and San Francisco was beat up. Here's the thing that does worry me. And everyone's on the big Tampa Bay high horse, and they should be, because we're the best team in the NFL right now.
Let me just read Dr. Google. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers all-time home record against West Coast teams is 15-16. So they're almost at 50%, where when they go to the West Coast,
it goes significantly. It gets really bad when we go away. But we're not even doing it here.
They at home, the Bucs have beat the Cardinals 7 times, lost 5. Against the Niners, this probably hasn't been updated. It says 4. It says 4 wins and 5 losses. And against Seattle, 4-4 as well.
Yeah. The fact that Arizona is in there and we're not. Okay, that alone. The fact that the Cardinals are in there and we're not doing really well against the Cardinals shows we got a problem. We got a problem dealing with those. It's true. And sometimes you'll hear an argument. Well, it's not the same team now as it was, but there are also team issues. Like, I want to say, I'm going to use the word generational, but just overall as a team, even though the same players that are on the team now weren't on there 10, 15, 20 years ago, but sometimes, a team in general can carry around this burden, this monkey on its back. And typically we don't do that well against those West Coasters. So I was thrilled. And I said to myself, if we beat San Francisco with this team, just because of those sort of, team history stats, I believe we can make it to the Super Bowl.
I believe if they could get some of the players back healthy. Now, I know Mike Evans might play this week. I don't know if I'd play him, to be honest. I want him 100%.
Against the Lions? The Lions are like the number 2 team. They're basically almost, I mean, we're neck and neck.
I understand that. I understand that. I would rather, even if it means, and obviously the athletes wouldn't say it this way, even if it means giving up on the Monday night game to make sure Mike Evans is healthy.
What the heck? What? You get what?
You want
this is the NFL. You don't what?
Yeah, I want him 100%. I don't want Mike Evans out there at 80%.
You don't throw your game.
I didn't say
because
throw.
Of one player. Well, you're kind of like that's the mindset of a thrower, a tosser, as we say in England.
What I'm saying is, I want my players and my star to be 100%, not 70%.
You never know. Okay, first of all, in the NFL, if you're hurt like that, you're never 100%. He's never going to be 100% for the rest of the season. Okay, he's always going to be operating at best at 90. Because when you have an injury that takes you out, you don't fully heal. You don't fully heal, especially he's older. But you don't sit here and say, okay, we're going to put in not as good as players. It's okay if we take a loss that Mike Evans can have another week to heal. No. Yes. You go at it. You lay it all down on the line. You put everything out there every Sunday because guess what? At the end of the freaking season, when we're one game away or tied with Atlanta or somebody else, which I don't think we will be, but it's possible, then that ends up making a difference on whether or not, or we can get the bye or whether or not, we're in a wild card. That's the pansy approach.
Just like
Randy.
Just like Dave Feldman said earlier on the show in the first hour, that you err on the side of caution. And if it's the wrong decision, it's the wrong decision. If you bring back Mike Evans, who has a history of hamstrings, and you bring him back a week too early, you bring him back 2 weeks too early, that hamstring will never heal, and you'll now lose him for 8 games.
Well, now we're talking about something a little bit different. Like if he's doubtful, if he's questionable, or if he's probable. If he's probable, you bring him back. And we all know that questionable means 50-50. Okay. And probable is 25%. I mean, excuse me. There's questionable, probable, and then doubtful is only a 25% chance of him.
And what is out? Is out 100%?
Yeah, out's 100%.
Okay.
Out's out. You ain't coming back if you're out. You out. And I think that. So how many games is this? This is 1 or 2 that he's missed.
No, it's more than 1. I mean,
no. So this is the second game he's missed. 2 games, right? He was in there 3 weeks ago. So, is 3 weeks enough
to heal a hamstring? How bad was the hamstring?
God, man, he didn't even look like somebody hit. I mean, he just pulled it in the air. I think I remember. So, I don't know. I mean, I injured my hamstring and I went back into the game, scored the winning goal back in soccer. They just wrapped it up. I went back in there like a soldier and we won that game. I ain't complaining.
And then you got traded?
No, I never got traded. Soccer, I actually was recruited to our rival one year. I was recruited to our rival, Franklin, Tennessee, which is an unbelievable soccer program. And we weren't going to play. It was a select team. We weren't going to play. And they called me and they said, "Hey, are you playing in the Jerry Reed tournament? Do you remember Jerry Reed?
From
Cannonball Run and all that."
Bandit, yeah.
Yeah, he was a big classic country guy. He was funny too. Anyways, he had a soccer tournament. He sponsored a soccer tournament in Nashville. And so anyhow, I got recruited to play for them. And then my own team, this was terrible, decided to join the tournament. And so here I was like the goalie playing my own team in that tournament. Of course, we beat them because I shut it out. I knew how they're going to kick that ball, but I felt really bad about it. And then Hendersonville you had to sign a contract after that. Because of what I did, they started this contract that said, if you ever leave and are recruited by another team, you can't come back to play for your own team. Yeah, that's my history there. Couple famous things, that, and then, of course, Taylor Swift at Hendersonville High School. She might be a little bit more famous than me.
Mike Evans has been out 3 weeks.
Okay. This is his third, or this pass was his third. So okay,
The pass was third, so this would be his fourth.
This is 3 weeks. He's missed 3 games.
Let's ask
So
Dr. Google.
that's 4 weeks.
I'll
Totally
pretend
4.
Matt. How long should you be out after a hamstring pull?
In football, you have to say football.
No, you don't have to.
Baseball players' hamstrings are pansy compared to football players' hamstrings. Come on.
Yeah, you can't answer this question.
It's not going to answer. Yeah. It's
Well,
just
because you don't know how severe the hamstring was.
Yeah.
You know, is
Yeah.
it a 1, a 2, a 6, a 47? You know,
Look,
so
I say that if he is questionable, we don't bring him back. But I don't think
I'll know later today.
Yeah.
Because the Bucks practice today.
Right,
So
yeah.
if he doesn't practice, you know, they'll downgrade it. I'll be out there tomorrow to talk to everyone's favorite quarterback, Baker Mayfield, and we'll see, you know, where if he doesn't practice today and tomorrow, I would say he's not going to play.
Right. Sometimes I feel like they shouldn't really practice them that much if they've got the injury too. You know, they should just throw the ball around a little bit, not too.
Just toss it around.
Yeah, you know,
Don't
yeah.
grab ass. Just mess
But I
around.
guess you've got to really go into the practice. Yeah, I guess we'll know. We'll have a pretty good idea. Hammies are bad. Look, we did it without him. We don't have to have him. He's an asset. But let me tell you, Detroit's going to come in hard. And I know that Detroit is not in our division, but as you and I being the ages that we are, Detroit is like a long-term rival because we used to be in that black and blue division.
No, I disagree. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I disagree. So for the old fans like yourself,
yeah,
I get it because of the NFC Central back in the day. There's no player on this team. There's no player alive that was even around then. I'm being a little sarcastic.
Maury Sanders is alive.
Anybody who is playing today was not playing back when they were in the Central with Green Bay, Minnesota, and Chicago. So that rivalry, and let's be honest, even the rivalry that the Bucks have with Carolina, with New Orleans, these young players have no idea. They don't sense it. They don't know about it.
Yeah, but don't you know that, like, don't you think that, like, they have an idea that they're like, oh, this is a big rival? I mean, the media.
No, they have no idea.
So they don't have any rival except their own personal rivals. When you come to a team, you adopt the history of the rivalries in that team. You adopt them, whether you want to or not.
What you do when you come, and we'll use, you know, as we're talking about the NFC South, when you come to Tampa Bay, when you come to Atlanta, when you come to Carolina, when you come to New Orleans, you know that you have to beat those 3 teams. So, yeah, there's a rivalry just because it's a division rivalry, but they have no idea of why that rivalry was there. Why the hatred of the Carolina Panthers when they almost killed the punt returner when he called for a fair catch and they went and drilled him. That caused a huge commotion, but they don't.
Then smack talk about the D-line when they were with Sapp and Booger about that. I mean, remember that with the Carolina, they were talking smack about our D-line.
Well, yeah.
That was another, I'm just trying to remember exactly, but it rings hard. And the Eagles with Joe Jaravicious, those are old school rivalries.
Right.
But they go away.
But you know, it does go away because the players that are on Philadelphia and Tampa are now were not around in 2002 when the comments were made to Jaravicious.
Okay, I know that you're right about this. I know you're right.
Thank you.
But you're right about this. But here's where
since you said I'm right, I'm going to reward myself with a sip of Diet Coke.
There you go. I would love a Diet Coke right now. Diet Dr. Mountain Dew's better though. All right, so I'm thinking they aren't around, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because let's just say who's our rival right now? Saints, kind of, right? I mean, modern day.
Not really. You know, not really.
We don't have any rival.
I think the rivalry is with the Eagles.
Yeah, but the Eagles, okay. You know that our rivalries with the Eagles, all these players don't know about the smack that happened back in the day with the Eagles and why we became such rivals. They don't know.
They don't know about 2002, but they've played the last couple of years. And so the young guys that are on the team now have now played against them a couple of times. They've won the Super Bowl, so it's their rivalry. I just don't feel that today's players are going to, and same with fighters, since we're predominantly a fight network. What used to be of the gyms had these rivalries. I don't think if you join this new gym, if you join, America's Top Team down in Cape Coral, that you instantly, a guy that was here 15 years ago had a rivalry with, Greg Jackson or Militich or whatever. I just don't sense that.
Well, I think that boxing and fighting in general, the rivalries are more individual. I mean, I know about the gyms and so forth, but they're also very personal. But when you have an entire team, the rivalry it's a team rivalry. It's different because somebody could come onto the team tomorrow from the Eagles, and then is he going to have a rivalry with the Eagles because he's a Buccaneer now? I think it's more than that. It's not individual. It's a team and it's a fanship. So when you join the Dallas Cowboys, okay, and you don't have no skin in the game with the Redskins. You don't care about the Redskins, right? But then all of a sudden you're a Cowboy player, and now you're all of a sudden not going to have a rivalry with the Redskins because you didn't before. No, you have it because it's team rivalry.
Karen, you're going to get us canceled. They're not the Redskins.
Oh,
you
gosh.
Can't call them the Redskins.
Yeah,
You're
I
gonna
know. Sorry. I'm sorry, the Commanders. I said something that when I was on the cruise, they were playing, and I said, "How the Redskins do?" And the guy goes, "Oh man," he thanked me. He goes, "Thanks for calling them that. We ended up not winning or whatever." But he goes, "We really appreciate that." I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." He goes, "No." A lot of people still want to call them.
We're going to hit a break. When we come back, we're going to reach out to the Queen of Violence.
All right.
2 weeks ago, we're going to check in on our brother. We're going to check in on her. And we talked to Dave Feldman about what I thought, how classy it was for Christine to do what she did when she went and saw Jessica Borg in the hospital and took pictures and such. So Christina Ferreira when we return. This is Knockout Radio. We'll be right back.
It's Joel Romero here and the Knockout Radio.
Got bills and looking for work, but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way. At West Florida Roofing, they know how much of a financial burden a new roof can be. So not only do they offer extremely competitive prices, but they are offering up to 130 feet of gutters and downspouts absolutely free with a full roof replacement. Plus, financing is also available. I recently hired West Florida Roofing to replace my entire roof, and I couldn't be happier. From contract to cleanup, they did an amazing job. Call Joe today at 813-282-4000. This is Randy Harris for Mick for Hair at Got Split End Salon at Pinellas Park, our official hair care and grooming provider who caters to everyone, women, men, kids, and senior citizens in an affordable, upscale environment staffed with the most talented professionals in the business. Visit Mick for Hair at Got Split Ends today at 4376 Park Boulevard in Pinellas Park, or call them at 727-290-9873.
You're hungry. Where do you go to eat? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. You want to have a drink? Where do you go? Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Having a get-together with the guys from the softball team? Where do you do it? That's right, Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Located at 1320 Central Avenue, St. Petersburg, right across from Tropicana Field. Berg's is the best place to take the whole family for food and fun. Going to a Rays game? Have dinner before the game at Berg's, and after the Rays win, come and celebrate with all your friends at Berg's, right across from the Trop. So come down and see Berg and the whole gang at Berg Sports Bar and Grill. Berg Sports Bar and Grill.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you're bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, If you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8-man strong.
Hello, everybody. It's Levante David, linebacker of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and you're listening to the Knockout Radio.
All right, we are back. I'm coming to you live from the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility here in Pinellas Park, Pinellas County. You can reach them 24/7 at 727-954-3605. Leslie is from the dungeon or the bathroom or wherever she is in her castle over in Tampa. And I want to start a petition. I want to change time zones. I want there to only be one time zone.
Well, you can't do that.
Well, I need to do that.
In the whole United States?
The whole world.
No, that ain't going to happen.
Because I typically get it right, but I didn't this time. So I asked Christina Ferreira if she could come on at 11:30 Pacific because she's based out of Las Vegas. And late last night, early this morning, I got a text stating that she was on the East Coast. About 4:15, as I'm up doing some work and getting prepared and doing the things that I do first thing in the morning, I texted the wrong time. Because if it's 11:30 in Pacific, it's 2:30 here on the East Coast.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yes, that is correct, Randy.
Yeah, I put 1:30.
Yeah. Well, you couldn't have all the same time zone because then people would be asleep when you need to do business in this global economy. You know what I mean? It would be 2 a.m.
Well, no, it would be the same thing.
Yeah, but then people would be sleeping at night. Like, it's just.
But it would be the same thing. It's the same thing. If they're sleeping, if we're working at 1 o'clock p.m., right, which is 11 on the left coast, if it's 1 p.m., they'd be up, right?
Yeah, right. My brain is it's not going to work, Randy. It's not going to work. Nobody's going to go for this. Okay, nobody's going to go for this. And you can't just do it with America because then everything else will be off underneath us, to the south of us and to the north of us in Canada too. So we got to.
Speaking of Canada, the UFC's in Vancouver this week.
That's cool.
I almost thought about going. Almost.
Have you ever been to Canada?
I did a cruise.
Oh yeah.
I did a cruise, the Alaska cruise. Went to Vancouver. I went to Toronto for a couple UFCs. I went to Montreal for a UFC. So yeah, I've been up there a couple times.
I love Quebec. I've been to Old Town. Yeah, it's cool. It's finally.
I'm not a big fan of poutine though.
He's in Russia.
What?
Putin?
Not Putin. Poutine. That's their delicacy. It's like French fries and gravy.
Should be Russian delicacy. You know what? The thing about, what I like the best about Montreal? You go there.
Schwartz Deli?
No, those French people are nice. They're nice to you. You go in and it's a fully bilingual city. They prefer to speak French, but it's purely bilingual. So when you sit down for coffee or whatever, they say, bonjour, hello. Just like that. And then whatever you respond back to is what they'll start speaking.
Is it true that you responded by saying, what up, dog?
No, I said, what up, G?
What up, G? If you ever go to Montreal, if anybody's listening to us in the Montreal area, Canada, if you have a passport and you want to drive over from the States, Schwartz Deli, one of the best delis I've ever been to. And partly was owned, I don't know if she still owns it, Celine Dion.
Oh,
was
interesting.
And Renee. Yeah, they were.
Celine Dion's sort of a heartbreaking situation there with her sickness and everything, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is. It's rough. That's one that's like, you have this amazing people that all of a sudden they get these crazy, weird, rare diseases. But I guess it does bring awareness to it. Not to go down a downer too, but just makes me think of that. By the way, this whole time zone thing, just wanted to lay it out for you. The Earth's got 24 time zones, all right? One for each hour of the day. As the Earth rotates, Randy, the sun rises east, sets in the west. We know that. So when it's noon, sun's at the highest. It's in one location. So it might still be morning or already evening somewhere else. So the time zones keep local time in sync with the position of the sun in the sky. So that roughly speaking, sun's is highest around noon wherever you are. So you just basically need to set your alarm or recheck yourself. But however, I do not like that cruise ships stay on the time zone where you port. So I almost really screwed up my whole itinerary because I booked excursions in Mexico, but Mexico was on Central Time, and Belize doesn't use daylight savings, so Belize is 2 hours. So I almost like paid for a whole excursion and wasn't even able to get it.
See, but if everything was on the same time zone,
yeah, but then it's
wouldn't
not
have had that problem.
But you have to be like noon time should be the highest point of the sun everywhere. Noon shouldn't be like midnight somewhere.
Hey, since we're the greatest country, noon is Eastern Standard Time. And everything else, you can adjust.
All right, so hopefully we'll be hearing from Christine soon.
Well, I'm texting her right now.
Okay, great.
She's responding. She wanted to know when is this, and I'm like, yeah. The wrong person I want to upset is the Queen of Violence.
Oh wow, right? And what a class act, as you said. I didn't get to watch the fight, but I really am looking forward to watching it when I can, when I've got some time to rewatch it, because I just have to read about it. It's not the same watching the highlights and so forth. But
no, that's for sure.
Yeah, class act going and checking on her opponent, and I love the rival. Talk about a rivalry between those two girls, those two females.
Well, and like I said to Dave Feldman when he was on, and the same with the UFC and all the other combat sports. I don't, and I understand. And Dave Feldman and I have talked about this numerous times. You have to sell the fight. I get that. I just don't like it. I don't like the WWE-ish, the stuff just to, make believe. When it's real, I want it to be real. And when you don't like them, I want you not to like them after. Now, sometimes people have said, and I don't know where Christina and Jessica stand, they kind of like have grown respect for each other. I'm not saying these two. I'm saying this has happened in the past.
Yeah.
But they still dislike each other. And I like that. But if you want to, everything was buried in the cage, in the ring, whatever, that's okay too. I just don't like when it's fake and you believe that it's real, and I'm naive. And, like I said, all the wrestling stuff, you buy into it. It's real. It's this when it's not. It's just to sell the fight. I want it to be real. You can get along and still fight each other.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. The thing that
don't let that cat sit on me.
I got my cat. Listen, my cat has been for the last
goodness.
45 minutes. My cat has been ripping my clothes, trying to get up here. This is Scarf Kitty. If you're watching us on YouTube or on the internet, my cat likes to sit on my shoulder like this, like a parrot cat, like a pirate cat. Anyways.
Well, which is it? Is it a parrot or a pirate?
I think I'm going to say, well, oh, that's cute. We're Buccaneers, so I'm going to say Pirate Kitty. One thing about Jessica is I remember when we interviewed her, and I think I told you this afterwards, the last time she was on, is I said, I really hope that I'm able to watch that fight. You asked me why, and I said, because I feel like it's so real. I said, I could see the fire in her eyes, and I could just tell that rivalry is really, really intense.
And
that's what I like. Like you said, like if it's a real, I can't stand wrestling. I'm sorry. I'm not a real big fan of it because it's entertainment. It's theatrics.
Well, that's all it is. Right. That's all it is. For people that take it all serious and, they just had a switch of some heels are going, face and all that kind of stuff. It's all scripted entertainment. People that take this, serious. I'm going to stop there. I don't want to say it wrong and get canceled.
And piss off a dog. Yeah, I know. It's acting but they are athletes.
Absolutely.
Okay, so hardcore athletes, and you've got to have respect for that. But they're athletes, no,
it takes a great deal. It takes a great deal of.
You know what it is, Randy? It's the ultimate stunt show.
Sure.
That's what the WWE is. The ultimate stunt show. Because it's all planned out. Stunt men and stunt women are athletes. big time. I used to date one, hardcore athletes, to be able to take the kind of beating that they take, but it's entertainment and it's planned. Okay, so you know what's going to happen. You know you're going to hurt. You know you're going to hit the ground. But the WWE is the greatest stunt show on earth. That's what it is.
I buy that.
Yeah.
I can get that. And I'm not going to lie. I watch it, from time to time. And I've said this on the show. I like to watch the mic work. I like to watch, them talking and them, doing the stuff back and forth. Some of the wrestling is so bad. They miss by so much that it's really unwatchable.
Yeah.
But I like listening to the storylines and, the heat back and forth and, the acting. How about that?
Yeah.
I like the acting and the mic work.
Yeah. I remember when I was a kid and I used to watch it, back in the 70s, and they would just, when they'd throw them out, they'd hit their foot. It's gotten a lot better, but they would just hit their foot really hard on the ground and go,
yeah, it's not any better. No, it's not any better. That's still,
no.
When you throw the punch and you slam your foot down and it makes
it's such a thing, and to slam your foot down to make the sound, or just, to make that sound that
sure,
the floor makes. Sometimes I feel like there might be microphones under that floor, just to make
sure
the
there
sound
is.
even harder, more intense. You think?
Well, no, I'm sure there is.
Question.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure there is. All right, let's go hit our final break of the afternoon, and then we'll figure out a way to bore you for the last 12 minutes of the show. Jump on the internet, jump on the phone lines, jump on the YouTube, jump on the Facebook. We're streaming on Facebook and YouTube. Come back for the final segment when we return. This is Knockout Radio.
Hi, this is Vinny LeCavalier, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
8 Man Strong is not simply about the biggest or strongest. It's about those who have survived true lows, suffered, faced demons real or in their heads, and are fighting to come back against it all. If you live with a passion for greatness and strength and resilience towards all obstacles that may attempt to derail you, if you are bold and aggressive in the pursuit of the things you want in life, if you are meant to overcome everything that stands in your path of reaching your goals, then you are 8 Man Strong.
Check out fantasypets.com, where fantasy meets cutting-edge technology. We create breathtaking 3D printed fantasy creatures that captivate hearts and minds. From the T-Rex to the dragons and the shark to the crocodile, every fantasy pet is a testament to our dedication and precision and quality. You can request custom designs and bulk pricing as well. Go to fantasypets.com. That's fantasypets.com.
Experience the charming Country Depot gift shop located in the heart of downtown Brooksville, located at 36 North Broad Street. From sports memorabilia to antiques, from handbags to one-of-a-kind art and decor, the Country Depot has it all. Check them out at countrydepot.com, Country Depot on Facebook, or stop by the store at 36 North Broad Street in downtown Brooksville. Got bills and looking for work but nobody is hiring? Staff Zone is, as the leading provider of commercial construction, industrial, and special event staffing throughout the Southeast, Texas, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Kansas City, and many other locations. Staff Zone has plenty of work for you, and they need you now. Don't wait. Go to www.staffzone.com and find a branch closest to you. Work today, get paid today. That's the Staff Zone way.
This is Mike Allstott, and you're listening to Knockout Radio.
All right, final segment here, coming to you live from the Cool Breeze AC broadcast facility. If you're having any AC issues, Pinellas County, Hillsborough County, any other county, give them a call, 727-954-3605. Try to wake up Mitch in the middle of the night. Feel free to do so. One of our own fights this weekend, not born in Tampa, but lived in Tampa, trains in Tampa. Matt Friola, the Steamroller, gets back in the octagon, went to UT. He's a veteran. I think he's still in the reserves in the Army. Takes on Kyle Nelson. And I wanted to ask, and they both were going to be on. I didn't get the phone numbers in time to get them on today, and I apologize for that. But as an American, it's got to be fun to be the heel. Understand? So Matt's going to go up there. He's going to fight a Canadian in Canada, so he's going to get booed. Him being a military vet.
Yeah,
awesome.
we're always the good guys and stuff. It would be fun to go to another country and be the heel.
Well,
especially Canada, Canada is basically like America with, better personalities and healthcare.
And silly accent and
Birkenstocks.
And loonies and toonies.
Yes.
I remember Tom Lawler fought in Canada. I don't remember. I think it was Toronto, but it was either Toronto or Montreal. And he made the very drastic mistake. Tom Lawler, a friend of mine, a big wrestling fan. We've hung out numerous times. But he came out to Hulk Hogan's "I'm a Real American" and then lost. Can't do that.
Nope.
Got booed.
Who would you say are the most famous Canadians?
GSP.
I was thinking Justin Bieber.
Yeah. I mean, he is. Isn't
Alanis Morissette?
Alan Thicke?
Is Alan Thicke the dad in Alf?
Oh, I don't know. Alan Thicke's been gone for, a long time. Robin Thicke's dad.
Yeah, yeah.
Wayne Gretzky.
Oh yeah, well, clearly your hockey players. Michael J. Fox.
Yeah.
The Weeknd, which I did not know. I also did not know.
That's why it's spelled wrong, because he wasn't able to buy all the vowels.
That's hilarious. You know who I did know that is a really cool, one of my favorite celebs, Pam Anderson. Is Canadian.
Yeah, she got found. She got noticed drinking a Labatt's at a Blue Jays game.
You're kidding, really?
That's how she got found.
Wow, at a hockey game, and then her life changed after that, huh?
Dan Aykroyd.
He has my birthday, I think. I've never thought he was funny.
Oh, here's a big one. Oh, well, obviously, there's many big ones. You forgot Drake.
Oh, Drake's so overrated.
Shania Twain.
Oh, yeah.
She
Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves is Canadian.
Yeah,
he's half Japanese, but he's Canadian.
I can't think of his name. Kevin something, not Kevin Bacon.
Your favorite singer is Canadian. Paul Anka.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Michael Bublé. I'm a big Michael Bublé.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Michael Bublé is one, too. That was a good one.
How about this one? I would have never thought this. Alexander Graham Bell.
Oh, no one ever thinks of. That's hilarious. Whoever goes back that far, when he's talking about pop culture, Alexander Graham Bell. That's hilarious, but I did not know that he was Canadian either.
Seth Rogen.
Okay. He's pretty cool. Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. He's the most famous MMA guy. He's a wrestler.
Dwayne Johnson's Canadian?
Yeah, Dwayne Johnson, Canadian.
I might have to argue that. I'm going to argue that.
Oh, he holds both American and Canadian citizenship. His dad's from Nova Scotia. You're right. His dad's from Nova Scotia, so he is Canadian, but he spent most of his time in the USA. But I wonder where he was born.
He tried to play Canadian football. I know that.
Yeah, he said it was the best thing that never happened to him.
He was born in California.
Yeah, you're right. He's May 2nd. Yeah. Yep. So he's in the middle. So he grew up over here, but his dad was Canadian. He has Canadian.
Shouldn't be allowed.
What shouldn't be allowed?
It shouldn't be allowed.
To do what?
You should only be able to be a citizen of one country.
Nah. Why? Why?
Why? How can you be a citizen of more than you're a citizen of?
Because you could have been born. Because you can be a citizen, but then have a secondary citizenship.
Oh, so, like a secondary family?
Well, if you're born here, but let's say I'm born here, so I'm already always going to be an American citizen if I'm born here. Okay. And unless I'm on an embassy, born in the Iranian embassy or something, right?
Well, then
So,
I believe if that's the case, you would still be an American.
no, that's their property.
Now, if you're born on a military base, I can't
what
remember.
I'm saying is if I'm like I was joking, I was saying Persian or something, Iranian, but let's just say if I'm on a French, if I'm French or my parents are French, I'm born in the French embassy, I'm going to be French. You see, it's their embassy, so it's not going to automatically give me American citizenship.
Right, because we wouldn't want you because you were born.
I'm just saying that doesn't count as American land in essence.
Right. No, I thought you were saying it the other way around because I know people that were born in Germany, on the base, and that they are American.
No, yeah, right. No, they're Americans born on the base, right? They're American, right? So a French person being born there would be French at the French embassy. But I just think that it's okay to have a secondary citizenship because let's say if I'm born here and then at 2, I leave, like my best friend Claudia, she was born, she was Peruvian. Her mom got pregnant, escaped Peru under these crazy situations a long time ago. Went through the Dominican, had the baby like on accident in the Dominican. So Claudia was a Dominican citizen, but she never more than, 2 days was in the Dominican Republic. The entire other time she was here in the Estados Unidos, in the United States. So she should be able to have an American citizenship, but then also a Dominican citizenship because she was born in Dominican, don't you think?
No.
Well, then where would she be? Just not having her whole life's been in America? She doesn't even have an accent. I mean, her whole life was here, but she was born there just because her mom had the pregnancy early and she was passing through Dominican. You see? So what do you do with that?
Did she have to, go through the tests, or did she automatically become an American citizen?
This is so funny. She did not know that she was born in the Dominican. Her mom never told her that.
It's worth keeping a secret.
So then she found out when she was going to college, when she asked her mom for her passport and everything, her mom was like, well, you've got to get it, you've got to go back to the Dominican. She thought she was American she thought she was born over here. And their mom had it. She goes, no, you're actually born in Dominican Republic. So to answer your question, she did have to go through all that. And talk about somebody who was pissed off. Oh my God, it was hilarious because Claudia had a country accent. Beautiful Peruvian girl that just happened to be born, came out of her mom in the Dominican, but then spent her entire life minus 2 days in the United States. And her mother came here legally. Okay. So she had to go through, she'd now been through all of high school and had to go take a test. She felt humiliated, basically, because she's like, I have a degree. I'm going to go to college, or I'm going to have a degree. I go to college. And now I've got to take this test. I've got to go in through and swear myself. And so she did it, but she was not happy about it.
That does suck.
Yeah, I did for her. But I mean, I thought it was funny.
I'm not sure she did.
And she was my best buddy. I thought it was hilarious. She was just so peeved. I mean, plus it's funny because she had this real thick Southern accent, but her blood was 100% Peruvian. People were always expecting her to have a Spanish. Actually, she was the only Spanish person in my class at Hendersonville High. By the way, did you know Taylor Swift went there? I'd like to throw that in.
Yeah, it's the 3rd time today.
How about Tay-Tay's new album, Rockin' and Rollin', Baby? That sounds good. The Life of a Showgirl.
Most famous Spaniard. Who's the most famous Spaniard?
Enrique Iglesias.
No, I think there's Salvador Dali. Picasso.
Oh, what about, no, I got it. This guy named Columbus.
No, you're not allowed to say his name here in this country.
Christopher Columbus.
No.
He was, hold on. He was Italian anyway, I think. I don't think he was Spanish. I think
you still
that
can't say his name.
I think he was commissioned by the Spaniards, but he was Italian. I think I'm right. Did you know that?
I did.
I don't think he was Spanish. Everyone thinks he's Spanish, but he is Spanish, my bad. Oh no, Italy, born in Italy. Genoa,
Right.
Italy. He's Italian.
Right.
Okay.
You are correct.
Oh, he was very unattractive. Whew.
You know what the beauty is? Only 2 more minutes. And then we're out. 2 more minutes and we're out.
All right. What do you think the Baker Mayfield? Give me your prediction for Sunday. I can't wait till this game. I cannot wait. And
Here's my
excuse me,
prediction.
It's Monday night. It's 7 p.m. Monday night.
Here's my prediction. I was going to go, but I decided not to for health reasons. I have been asked by media and players alike to continue picking against the Bucs.
Why?
So really, it's a win-win for me. So I'm going to pick Detroit to win, and I hope they lose. So I'm going to win if Detroit wins, and I'm going to win if the Bucs win.
It's going to be 32-30, Bucs over Detroit. Last 1 minute of the game, Baker's going to come back. We're going to kick a field goal and win the game. 32-30 Bucs. It's a 7 o'clock game, by the way.
Yep.
Not an 8 p.m. I know Monday nights get screwy with all that.
Well, there's 2 games on Monday.
Right.
You know, and
The
then
7th.
Seattle plays as well. So, all right. Well, 3 hours down. I apologize. We did not get the phone numbers for our UFC guests today. I normally get them before the show starts, and I've been banned from looking at my cell phone during the show by Matt. I should have done it since Matt's not here today, but good stuff. What's your plans for the next couple of days, Les?
Me, I am actually going to Texas. I'm going to go to Texas for a few days again. See my other half.
You have a great time. Tell the pilot take off properly and land properly. Don't get thrown off the plane like Mark Coleman did.
No, I'll try not to.
And he didn't argue. He just made a comment that this really large man should have sat between the 2 females on the other side next to 2 large guys. I totally get it, but we'll try to get the story from Mark next week. Everybody have a great week. Hit us up on all of our social media. The YouTube channel's running good. You can talk to us there as well. So until then,
go Bucs!
Knockout Radio brought to you by 8 Man Strong and Staff Zone. Bucs beats Detroit. See ya.
See ya. Wouldn't want to.
See ya.